Oh,
Yes, sir.
we are back. Is this episode 14, I want to say? Yeah, 14. I think it's 14.
14. 1 and a 4.
14 of the Purple Rain podcast with me, Simply, and my guy, Sutton, right there.
Hey,
How are
guys.
you doing? How are you doing? 'Cause I'm doing fantastic.
Fantabulous. I'll take it a step further, Alex. I am
Okay.
doing fantabulous on this. What is it, Monday? Today is
It is a
Monday,
Monday.
January 4th. The Ravens are officially in the NFL playoffs for 2021. We did it. We did
We
it.
did it. It
There's a
didn't look like
lot,
it was going to happen.
it didn't.
We
But
did
here
it.
we are,
We did it.
nonetheless. So,
Man.
shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. Shout out to the whole Ravens flock for just staying down, staying loyal. All of us who did. And listen, we're back in the dance now. So,
Let's do
we're,
it.
the way I
Let's
see it
do it.
now, we're back to 0-0. We're back to 0-0.
Exactly. And I think a good thing for us is we've been playing playoff football for the past 5-6 weeks. We
Yeah,
we can't lose, and we couldn't lose, and we didn't lose. We went through who you put in front of us, and we beat them. You can put a playoff caliber team as the Browns in front of us, or the number one pick Jags in front of us. You know what we did? We beat them. All we
yeah.
can do.
Got them out the way. All you can do is beat whoever's in front of you, man. That's all it is. So, yeah, we already see a lot of the Rain Gang is in full force
Okay.
tonight. Already, I'm going to bring up some of you guys' comments here. Let's see. KLA Sports, what's up, man?
Yes,
Fatal
sir.
Storm Clan, how are you doing, bro? Let's see. TSF Zach White. Got some new names
I
in
think it's
here.
new. I
New
think it's new.
faces. I like that. I like that. Christopher
Christopher
Swain, what's
Swain,
up,
always in
man?
here.
Yes,
Always.
sir. CJ, our guy, Trevor Watts. Yeah, man. Listen, all of you guys in here, Void, Darren Terrain, Noah Ash, you guys are all K-Dog. Yes,
Our
we
guy.
are. We're gonna see
Let's
100
see it.
tonight.
Let's go for it. Hey, speaking of that, share the stream.
Yeah,
Share it with somebody you know. Let's get a big group of family in here. A
yeah,
family that just loves talking NFL and hopefully like the Ravens. But we talk more than just the Ravens. But
yeah,
so we actually have a little something new. We have an Instagram now.
yeah.
Instagram. So if you want to follow us, it is up there. The Purple Rain Podcast. Hit
Yes,
a
at
follow
the Purple Rain.
and let us know
Awesome.
who you are. You can always drop a comment, say who you are in the podcast, and you talk about football.
Yeah. And I think the cool thing about, or the reason why you should follow our Instagram page is because we're going to be, posting a lot more content on there as well. So like
Yes.
more immediate content. So like when the games are during the games, halftime, or right before the games, or right after the games, we'll go Instagram live maybe, or, post on the story, just our immediate reactions, so you don't have to wait until Monday or Thursday to get the whole long form, hour long podcast from us. You
Right.
can enjoy, you can enjoy the Purple Rain content all week. So yeah, make sure you guys
Exactly.
go follow our Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. You can see it in the top left hand corner of the screen where it says join the Rain Gang. And that's what we want you guys to do because we're one big family. And also on the bottom right, it says subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go ahead and do that for us. It helps us out a ton. Also, like the video.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Man. First off, what a game. What a
Mm,
convincing win all around. I mean, we did it. We're in
yeah,
this bitch. We're in it.
we are.
And we play our good buddy old pals, the Tennessee Titans.
Yep. Once again.
We're back.
Once
We gotta
again.
let's conquer the king. Why not?
Yeah.
Why
We
not?
gotta. I mean, the NFL they've lined them up. We just gotta knock them down at this point, man. And it starts with the Titans, and that like what better opponent to start the
Exactly.
playoffs with than the Tennessee Titans, the team that knocked us out of the playoffs last year, knocked us way off of our high horse last year.
Yeah.
Coming off of our 14-2 season, just devastated us in the playoffs, and then
Oh,
even in the regular season this year, stood on the shield, everything like that, and we still lost that game.
disrespected us.
Disrespected us. So, you know what they say, third time's the charm. Hopefully we can pull this one out, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs got us third time. That was the third time the charm, but this is different.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
personal, and
that's true.
I'll be honest. Watching the game yesterday, I wanted the Titans. I didn't want the Colts. I'm like, give me the Titans. 'Cause I'm a firm believer. If we are to go all the way, gotta beat the Titans, Steelers,
Mm,
Chiefs. Those are, and
yeah,
that's what I'm sticking by. Those are the three teams I want. I don't want
yeah,
anybody else. I mean, obviously you beat what's in front of you, but I think that's the three where it shows what the Ravens are about and who we are as a team.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the thing is, though, like I think of it as like a revenge tour, the Ravens' revenge tour. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna beat the Titans, and then after that, it looks like we're gonna play the Chiefs. If we do beat the Titans, we'll play the Chiefs after that. That's pretty much guaranteed. And then we'll play either the Steelers or Buffalo or Cleveland or one of those teams. But it's looking like we're gonna have three very tough and very emotional games as matchups. You know what I mean? Going into this postseason, so it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna get into the postseason a little bit later on the show, but first we got to take care of business. We got to review yesterday's game that just happened. Our 35-point victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. We beat them 38-3.
Yeah.
And I don't think we made score predictions last week, but I don't know if any of us would have predicted we would have blown them out by that much.
No, I mean, Ravens, Bengals, it's always close. I mean, we blew them out the first game of the season, but taking it back to 2017, I believe. I think we shut them out the first week that year, and then they knocked us out later in week 17. But it's
I was thinking at least double digits.
Yeah, but they just looked like they didn't care. I mean, I think Zach Taylor didn't care. I mean, it's sad to see one of their best receivers in T. Higgins go down. AJ Green looks like he does not want to be there. The Bengals as a whole unit that just didn't look like they were in the game. Actually, let me pull up Twitter real quick because I would like to have a few words with a certain Bengals linebacker. I don't know if we know about this or if people in the chat know about this. Mr. Jermaine Pratt, how you doing? So if you don't know, NFL tweeted out, will the Ravens make it to Super Wildcard weekend? And Bengals linebacker Jermaine Pratt said, nope, over for them. And our guy LJ Fort responded like, so it didn't go too well, but our guy Jermaine Pratt got a nice stiff arm from J.K. Dobbins yesterday, so I think it's over for you now.
Yeah.
Just had to bring that back.
Yeah, I mean, there was I don't know what would even lead him to talk that type of trash like before a game like that. Like, listen, the game means nothing to you guys and everything to us. You do know we're gonna walk in that stadium and blow you guys out of the water or run you guys out of your own gym. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess he was just trying to get himself psyched up, the team psyched up to go out there and do whatever. But shout out to Jermaine Pratt. Big shout out to him. Yeah, but just reviewing yesterday's game, let's talk about some takeaways from the Cincinnati game, because we got to talk about takeaways from every game.
Of course.
But the Cincinnati game, I have a couple takeaways, right?
Let's hear it.
So, first and foremost, the offense does seem to be a lot more in sync. And they're hitting their stride at the right time, which is definitely most necessary in the playoffs against teams that can control the clock and also teams that can just simply put up points, like the Chiefs. So, just in one specific example that I have is on the design plays, like where I think it was Duvernay. He was coming around the backfield, and then he took it for that run, or like maybe 15, 20 yards, maybe. Yeah.
It was a third down, I think, too. It was like a 3rd and 3.
Yeah, like just stuff like that. Like, in order for plays like that to work, it takes proper and basically perfect execution. And the execution was perfect on everything from the running from Duvernay and then from the blocking as well. And just everything, the fake from Lamar, everything. So I just think that, the offense is seeming a lot more in sync. That is one thing that I took away from yesterday's game. Also, another thing that I took away from yesterday's game is that the blocking schemes and execution, they've been near flawless. So, like, shout out to Eric Tomlinson. Shout out to Pat Ricard.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because those guys, they've been amazing in blocking schemes, and they've allowed, huge running lanes for guys like J.K. Dobbins, guys like Gus Edwards, guys like Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
So that's another thing that I took away from yesterday's game. And then the third thing that I took away is that J.K. Dobbins, he is truly, truly coming into his own as the featured back on this team. He's already a super talented running back. He's now found the last remaining piece that he needed to take that next step to be that featured back. And that last piece was confidence.
And he has
confidence. Yes, he has it now. He's running with it. He's bursting through the line of scrimmage with relentless intent. And you love to see it. J.K. Dobbins, he is our lead back. He's our number one at this point. So that's the three things that I took away from this game. Yes. J.K. Dobbins, the number one back. The blocking's been excellent. And then the offense seems to be hitting their stride at the right time. But what about you, my man? What did you take away from the Cincinnati game?
First and foremost, I actually want to talk about that Duvernay play.
Yeah,
Everything worked perfectly, but the snap. I mean, it goes to show Matt Skura is no longer our center.
yeah,
He should not be anywhere close to our number one role. It's going to be either Macari or Tristan Colon Castillo because
right.
I don't think there were any bad snaps yesterday, honestly. I'm glad that the coaching staff was like put him as our number one center because he
Yeah,
deserved it. He played well.
right.
But my first takeaway, that running game and just the blocking, 404 rushing yards. That is
Yeah,
unheard of.
yeah.
That's unheard of.
Error
Just seeing,
404.
yeah, there was definitely an error in that Bengals defense.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. But pretty cool to witness just a team getting ran over like that.
Mm-hmm.
My second takeaway, Miles Boykin is slowly coming into his own. I know
Mm.
I think he had like one catch for a touchdown, but just he's learned how to
Yeah.
just maybe route running is coming on. And is that maybe because Dez is showing him a few pointers? But what's that? The past 3 games, I think he's had a touchdown.
I think it is the past 3 games.
Jags. I don't think he had one against the Giants. I'm sorry. He had one against the Jags. Had the one against the yesterday against the Bengals, and one against the Cowboys. So 3 in the last 4.
Oh, yeah. 3 of the last 4 because he didn't score against the Giants. But no, man. I mean, Miles Boykin. I think I said it last week on the show. I was like, he's good for one catch a game, and like you said, he had one catch for a touchdown.
Yeah.
You would like to see him get more opportunities. I just don't know what he would do with more opportunities.
Yeah.
He's taking advantage of, he's taking advantage of the ones that he's getting, but I don't know if he's like the type of guy who we want to be taking, looks away from Hollywood Brown or Mark Andrews for, you know what I mean? Like just consistently.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like what I'm seeing from Miles Boykin, and I would like to see him step up in the playoffs. If he can, convert on big third downs in the playoffs and just be a sure-handed guy like we drafted him to be, you know what I mean? Like that would impress me. That would impress me.
100%.
So I'm on the hype train, but I'm not too high on
I
Boykin
got you.
just yet. Yeah.
I got you. And my third, Anthony Averett is going to be a crucial part of this playoff run if we were to make one. I know it's the Bengals, but he was breaking up passes. He was just playing a solid game, and that was kind of what we need to see because our secondary lacks depth. And even when we have Jimmy Smith in there, just knowing we have a good number 4 corner is going to be big because Peters, Humphrey, and Jimmy Smith, I mean, if one of them go down, we said it like sometimes we're screwed, basically, if Humphrey were to go down. So it's kind of good to know we have some depth now. But I actually want to add a fourth, and it's our weekly tradition. Is it Marquise or is it Hollywood? Because he had that drop, and then he had those 2 touchdowns. It's like you can't go one side or the other because he'll do some great things and he'll have the bad drop.
Yeah, Hollywood. I mean, I think I said it last week. Well, we both agreed last week that we're calling him Hollywood again. But he got 2 touchdowns. He did have a drop, but it's like he got 2 touchdowns. Yeah. One of them was a really sweet catch, keeping his feet in bounds in the back of the end zone on that second one. And then the first one, he had to adjust to a football that wasn't perfectly thrown by Lamar. He kind of had to go to the ground to get it, and he did. So shout out to him. He's making more plays than he's missing, and that's what's important. That means he's making progress. So, I'm giving him the Hollywood nickname. But what about you?
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm going to call him Marquise, but this is his time. I mean, he showed up in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
Holly Keese, why not? But if he can have a big game, because the Titans team, their defense really isn't the best. Let's go ahead and just do what we did against the Bengals. Just cook them up. So I'm hoping he has another great playoff game, and hopefully we're here next Monday calling him Hollywood.
Absolutely. Jonathan Washington Jr., what's up, man? He says Hollywood has earned his name back. On top of that, he has a history of coming up in playoff games, although it was only one. So he's referring to the playoff game last year against the Titans where he had, a couple of really good catches, especially that one big catch right before the halftime. But
that
one-handed grab in traffic, which was insane.
I'm a believer. If we take 7 right there, the game is so different as a whole. Like taking 7 over 3, going in there with the touchdown, man. But we have a chance, just make it up this year. So let's hopefully we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I see a couple people in here. Hollywood, Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy.
You had put out a video of Hollywood Brown with the Soldier Boy song in the background, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Some people didn't really get. They're like, "Why are you using this old ass song?" I'm like, did you not see the tweet? Like, are you
yeah,
living under a rock? But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make a full season one without the Soldier Boy, but it was just too good. I had to.
yeah. So I just want to kind of like, cause the Bengals game was good, but a lot of the games after our game were very important to us, and
They were.
one of them that ended up coming down to the wire was the Titans versus the Texans, and that game came all the way down to a field goal where the kicker literally like bounced it off of the upright and it just fell in, and which rarely ever happens. Normally, if it hits the upright, it's bouncing away, and
Yeah,
it's
he
no
doinked it.
good. But he doinked it in, which was crazy. And you could even see it in Derrick Henry's face afterwards. He was just like so shocked and so surprised. But that sealed the deal, and that made it so we would have to play the Titans in Tennessee next week in the playoffs. So, what was your initial
Yeah.
reaction to seeing that?
They're just lucky. I mean, when do you see that? It's very rare to see it hit to doink and go in.
Right?
I'm like, what did the Titans do to deserve this luck? Like honestly, I mean, they're a dirty team. I'm gonna say because they're a disrespectful team because going on the logo and all that.
Hmm.
And then seeing how Vrabel interacted with Harbaugh after that, I really lost respect for him. I just don't get that. I'm like, but hey, if that's what the football gods want, I mean, hopefully we can knock them out the playoffs because they didn't deserve that. They should be
Yeah.
the number 7 seed because
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson led them down the field and then getting that game tying field goal. And then actually, the Texans defense, why is there only one safety back there? I didn't
Yeah.
get that.
I don't know why they went one safety high. That didn't make any sense at all, especially when you have like they had AJ Brown. Like literally, that was like, I mean, but shout out to Ryan Tannehill too, though, because he made the play as well. Um, the Titans are dangerous, man. The Titans are
They are.
dangerous. They're a dangerous team, really, literally because of Derrick Henry. By the way, guys, just real quick, we've got about 50 people watching live right now. Make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up. Give the video a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. That helps us out a ton. And then, if you so please, just share the video. Post it somewhere, send it somewhere, and so other
Facebook,
people can come
Twitter,
through. Facebook,
Instagram, LinkedIn, MySpace.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
else? What else? What others? Social media like
Some
Snapchat.
TikTok. I don't know.
Yeah, TikTok. Why not? Like
Uh,
Juju and Claypool, bunch of TikTokers.
But also make sure that you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast as well. And you can mention us and actually DM us on there. And we can actually get back to you guys with questions, any questions that you guys have as well. That'd be pretty cool. I just thought about that.
Yes.
But yeah. So, oh man, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? So the elephant in the
Oh,
room is that we have the Titans again. This is just again, I know we've kind of been talking about this, but we have the Titans again. I don't want to wait until Thursday to give our keys to victory
no.
and the things that we need to do in order to win this game because at this point, this is playoffs. It's win or go home. There's nothing else to focus on. It's literally just win this game, win the next game, more than ever. And it's been like that. But hey, we got the Titans again. And some people would say the Titans are the Ravens boogeyman, and
You
hey,
know,
we've lost them the past couple times. So
we have.
yeah,
I think
you can
people
say
also
that.
forget. Like we played them in 2018. We shut them out. Had like 11, 12 sacks on them. That was the last
21-0.
time we beat. Yeah, you remember that
Mm-hmm.
fun game. So they beat us. Playoffs last year and this year. But I think not people, Titans fans are forgetting that Derrick Henry's father plays for the Ravens, and his name is Calais Campbell. All right, and he wasn't playing the past two times we saw them, and we
Yeah.
didn't have another game of Big Brandon Williams. So we're gonna have the Monstars. We're gonna have Justin
Yeah.
Matabike. We're gonna have Yannick Ngakwe. We're gonna have Broderick Washington, Justin Ellis, Jihad Ward, and I'm looking forward to it. Like this is what we went out in the offseason and did. It's what we built our team around to stop the Titans, and
Right.
I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too, man. And just literally, like you said, like I think I said it before on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. You remember the in the Avengers movie when Iron Man he like made a suit specifically to beat the Hulk?
I think you brought this up. I
Yeah,
think,
I brought
yeah,
that. That's exactly what EDC and the Ravens did over in the offseason. They brought in the Monstars, Derek Wolfe, Calais Campbell, and we already had Brandon Williams. And
even the draft
also,
too.
even in the draft, yeah, I was going to get to that. Like with like our linebacker play, we've got Patrick Queen now. We've got Malik Harrison back there, which I'll get into. I'll get into the linebackers in a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess keys to victory.
Oh,
You know,
also, too, we have the Joker back there, too, who's ready to make a hit. We saw what he did last time. So I'm looking at the
yeah,
Joker.
yeah, yeah. You're right. The Joker is definitely. He made that a painful hit on Derrick Henry last time, and I would love to see that happen again.
Yes,
That's
yes.
another thing, man. Derrick Henry is just
Go for the
we're gonna have
legs.
to
Go
we're
for the
gonna have to go
legs.
for the legs. He's not
Don't
that he's not
don't be
that big
Josh
on the
Norman.
legs.
Don't
Yeah.
be Josh Norman. Just
Don't
get
try to
thrown off and be
tackle
a
him
highlight
high.
reel.
Jesus, man. That's the worst thing that could happen to you.
Yeah,
Like,
that's him. You're gonna be on the NFL commercial, NFL Network, ESPN, everywhere for the rest of your lifetime. So please, just go for the legs.
yeah. Let's see. Speaking of the Titans fans thinking that the Titans are the Ravens boogeymen, Peyton Elizabeth, she says, people act like the Titans killed us last time we played and they didn't. They beat us in overtime. Give us a reminder of how that game went, Alex.
So we were down, I believe. I do know we were up 21-10 at one point. And
Mm-hmm.
Henry did nothing. Derrick Henry did nothing the first three quarters. Then that fourth quarter came. Then the fatigue hit the defense. And then Greg Roman started making questionable play calls. I believe Mark Ingram was playing that game. And it just wasn't looking good. And then we drove down. We tied it up. I think it was 24-24. And then we got the ball first in overtime. That was
Yeah.
Des Bryant's. I think that was his second game with us, but he had a few catches that game, if you remember.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what Greg Roman was doing. He called a running play on second and long or a screen or something, and it just didn't work out. The blocking was terrible. We had it there. It was there. The game was there to win. And thanks to Greg Roman's terrible play calling before the offense forged no identity, it was bad. But I'm looking at it now, and that's why I'm confident, actually. I'm more confident than I was last year because of the whole bye week thing. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm going to be nervous,
Honestly,
but
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too, man. Me too. I hope that we can continue with the momentum that we have now and that the attitude of our guys is what it needs to be. Because I felt like last year or last season, it just wasn't. I felt like we were looking ahead too much, And I think Lamar said that. Didn't Lamar Jackson say that or something like
Yeah,
that?
he said that, and then Harbaugh was like, no, we weren't looking ahead. I just think we thought we were unstoppable. Teams would bow down to us because we were on a 12-game winning streak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got
That's just
cocky.
exactly. That's just not how the NFL works, It's literally any given Sunday or Saturday and playoffs case and
or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays this year.
Literally, exactly. I think we played on almost every day of the week.
I think we did.
But yeah, I mean, I want to get into a couple of my keys to victory for this Titans game.
Yes.
Because listen, the playoffs start now. They start now. Regular season is over, so we're only looking ahead towards the Super Bowl. So like I said before, we need to win every single game from here on out if we want to win the Super Bowl. I know I'm stating the obvious here, guys, but that's just what it is. So here are my keys to victory to win the first game of our playoff campaign. So first and foremost, of course, and this is, I'm beating a dead horse here, but run the ball, okay? Run the football and win control of the clock. We need to be the timekeepers of this game. If we are not the timekeepers, we'll lose. That's just how it is.
Easily.
We're the number one rushing attack in the league. They're the number two rushing attack in the league. We need to be, better than them at that, running the football. So the first half is going to be a game of sheer will, right? It's just going to be, they know we're going to run the ball. We know they're going to run the ball. It's just a matter of what team can take the other team out of their game plan first. And we need to be the team to be taking them out of their game plan. Get Derrick Henry standing on the sidelines and out of the plays on offense because they're down scores, 2 or 3 touchdowns, that sort of thing. As long as we can control time of the clock and then score in the red zone, which we've been really, really good at doing, and I have all the faith in the world that we can still do that, especially against the depleted Titans defense. I think we should be good. So, one, running the ball, controlling the clock. That's one key to victory. My second key to victory, we must get pressure, not on Tannehill, but we must get pressure on the secondary, the Titans secondary. The Titans are even worse at pressuring the quarterback than anybody else in the league. Literally.
Terrible.
They're dead last.
I think last week, TJ Watt had more sacks than the whole Titans team combined.
Bro. Yeah.
Bad.
Like, bro, they are, like, I literally looked it up today. They are dead last in the league in the percentage of plays where they're pressuring the quarterback. Dead last. So that means that Lamar's going to have a couple of clean pockets when he throws. And with those clean pockets, we need Lamar Jackson, which I also have all the faith in the world that he can do. We need him to, make the defense stay honest. Take those shots down the field. We need those plays. We need Boykin, to get free. We need him to get loose. We need Hollywood to get loose. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be doubling and triple teaming Mark Andrews. We know that for a fact. We know that. So we're going to need those guys to get loose, and we need Lamar to hit them. Because if Lamar starts hitting those guys deep, it's over. Because what are they going to do? You know what I mean? We have to keep them. We're going to keep them honest. They're going to be, trying to play the run, and we're going to hit them over the top, just like they like to do. But we do it a little bit differently. You know what I mean? So that's my second key to victory. Make those accurate, plays downfield, things like that. Then we'll be good. I think my third key to victory, and I actually have one more here written down in my notes. You know what? No, that was actually my last key to victory.
Okay.
Those are my main two things, actually. Running the ball and then just keeping them honest on defense, getting pressure on the secondary. Because if we run the ball and we score points, we're going to keep Derrick Henry on the sideline, even when they are on offense. So
exactly,
that's what I think we need to do in order to win. But what about you?
So I didn't write mine down. I'm just going to go straight off my head. Number one, what I think about last time we played them was how bad our secondary played. Corey Davis and A.J. Brown. Had their way with us. And that A.J. Brown touchdown where he had four people on him, couldn't tackle him, I just remembered that. If that happens in the playoffs, whoever is on, I don't care who you are, you deserve to get benched because I don't care. Don't go for the ball. Just tackle him.
Yeah.
Just tackle. It's the playoffs. It's one and done, We've been saying it for the past few weeks. Just go 1-0 every week. And we have been. Yeah. Why would that change now? But let's not go away from who we are. So that's my first thing. Just really, really good tackling. Mm-hmm. And then number two, it's just locking down their receivers. Because I was watching Tannehill. He's sneaky fast. I didn't realize that. And they love their options. So make them run how teams will do to us, Because they'll keep Lamar. They'll try to keep Lamar, stuck and make him throw. So let's get that pressure on Tannehill and let's try to make him scramble because we have Yannick Ngakoue coming behind him going to get that ball. And then number three, I guess I'll go offense for this one. Like you said, just run the damn ball. Last year, Gus Edwards had 3 carries. If that happens again this year, I mean, there's no excuse for Greg Roman not to lose his job. This is a big game, not only for the Ravens, but for Greg Roman, because he has to prove that he's improved from last year, because he shit the bed in the playoffs last year. I don't care what anybody says. That's what happened. And I actually want to go a fourth. I believe last year we had 11 dropped passes in that game against the Titans. That cannot happen this year. If somebody drops a big pass, that's what we have Des Bryant for. Put them in. Don't be scared to bench somebody. This is because I know teams like the Chiefs. If somebody has a bad game, they will bench them, put somebody else in. Let's have that big team mentality. If you don't want to do it, somebody else on the bench will. And J.K. Dobbins said that these are the games he's dreamed about playing. He wants to know if he's a big game player, and he loves the big games. So let's do it.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. I mean, do you think that J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards is going to have a bigger game on the ground in this game against the Titans? I want to know you guys' opinions in the chat as well. Who do you guys have having a better game against the Titans, J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards? I'll start.
Okay.
I've got Gus Edwards being better than J.K. Dobbins in this game. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that, honestly, Gus Edwards, he's the type of runner that the Titans do not want to face. We saw what the Titans did in the playoffs last season. They tried to mirror almost what the Chargers did. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear my dog barking in the background. But they tried to mirror what the Chargers did, putting a lot of DBs on the field, so smaller
Yeah,
guys. You get a guy like Gus Edwards in there, he's going to be running through those guys, tossing them around in the secondary once he gets to the second level, to the second
yeah,
level. J.K. Dobbins is just a little bit smaller. He's a little bit undersized. So I feel like he'll still have a good game, but I've got Gus Edwards going over 100 yards.
yeah. I mean, if we give him the snaps, I have to agree with you there. It's going to be a physical game, and we got to just the more physical team will win. I think that's what it's going to be. So I'm going to go Gus as well. But I want us to use JK, utilize him, because that burst on that 72-yard touchdown, he got through the line and just gone. So I'm going to go Gus more yards, but I'm going to go JK more touchdowns. I'm going to go JK 2 touchdowns, and Gus will just get us down the field, and we'll use JK in the red zone.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, I really want to see more of Gus Edwards in the passing game too, because I feel like it throws teams off. You know what I mean?
They don't expect
and
it.
They don't expect it at all, and he's really good at it. Very underrated. We haven't seen nearly enough of what we could see from him, in the passing game as well.
Maybe we're saving it. Maybe we're. I mean, we've been talking about this. Maybe we're saving things for the playoffs, and I'd be cool with that. If it works, it'll look genius.
Yeah. What's up, Ryan? He says, "What's up, Alex and Sutton?" Peyton Elizabeth, she says Dobbins. K-Dog says Dobbins is speed, Gus is power and speed.
Gus looks like he's picked up in speed recently, compared to a few years. I mean, he definitely has that burst, but those 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s, that is another key. I remember last year that we were going 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, and we would get them. We didn't get them against them last year. So that we'll learn a lot about how the game will go if we convert the short yardage situations.
Yeah. Now, in short yardage situations, what, as a fan, and I want you guys to answer this in the chat as well, in our 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1, 4th and 2 situations, what do you want to see the most? What do you think has the highest chance of converting that first down? What kind of play? Is it a Lamar, just power run? Is it Gus Edwards up the middle? Is it, a slant over the middle, just something quick, and out, to Dez or Duvin? Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm going. Well, we saw the 4th and 2 yesterday. It was an out route to to Hollywood Brown. That worked, but he's had issues with dropping on that play. But it was good to see him catch that. Good for his confidence. But I'm going Gus up the middle or a Lamar bootleg, because that worked against the Colts big time, and we've only ran it once, I think, this year. And I don't think teams will be expecting not only a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1.
Yeah. See, the reason why I asked that question is because we will inevitably be in that situation where it'll be 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, 4th and 1, and we have to make a decision. And as Ravens fans, we never want to punt the ball on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. It really doesn't. As long as we're a pass maybe the 30-yard line, our own 30-yard line, we want to go for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, because we feel like we have a big bag of tools in order to convert that. So, but I'm gonna go with Gus up the middle. Like you said, it's the most surefire thing. Gus is a very north-south runner. He does not lose yards. He falls forward. He's one of those kind of guys, and he's a big guy. So, I would definitely go with Gus up the middle on those type of plays. But we'll see what they do, because like I said, inevitably, that's going to happen. So we'll see what they do.
I'll add one, too. The J.K. Dobbins sweep play. Set him in motion, and he comes over, and Lamar, it's an option. But if J.K. takes it on the outside, just his speed gets around the whole team. It's crazy. Okay. His burst is just insane. Man. The fact he fell to 2nd round is actually crazy. Crazy.
It's wild, man. It's wild. But the thing about drafting running backs early and stuff, they don't typically do that.
I mean, I was questioning the pick, but now it looks genius. So they must have known something about Ingram that we didn't. And all praise to Eric DaCosta, because he knows what he's doing.
All praise, man. Honestly, man. Listen, guys, real quick. We've got about 65 people in here right now.
Okay.
Go ahead. Like the video. We're getting up there. We're getting close. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram at The Purple Rain Podcast. But yeah. And we love you guys. Rain Gang, we love you guys.
I don't want to say anything, but I heard if we get to 100 viewers, the Ravens are going to beat the Titans. That's what I heard. I'm not saying. That's what I heard. So let's get us to 100 viewers, and we'll see.
A little birdie told me if we get to 100 viewers, and that little birdie happened to be a Raven.
Man.
Guys, Man, I see we got somebody in the chat saying, what is our final score predictions for this game? Uh,
I don't. It's gonna be very close. Just be happy that our game yesterday was easy on the heart, because this one's gonna be hard. It's gonna be
yeah.
close. Your heart's gonna be beating, kind of like the Browns Ravens game. That I think was the most stressful game of the year for me. Just because what it
Oh
meant
yeah.
and this playoff game. I don't even know how I dealt with the 2012 Super Bowl, because now I'd probably just be in like a whole train wreck of emotions.
Oh yeah.
Um, Final score? Ooh. My heart wants it to be 28-12 Ravens, just from
Yeah.
last year. But the realist in me, I'm going to go 35-31 Ravens.
35-31.
Ravens, yep.
That's a good score prediction. I feel like that could actually happen, honestly. For me, I'm gonna go with because if we win and we win convincingly, we're gonna pour it on the Titans. Like we're not gonna
And
show any
as
mercy.
we should. As
Yeah.
we should.
I could see us winning this game. I'm gonna go 41-23.
I love that. I hope that happens.
Yeah. I'm gonna go
That nothing will
forty-one
make me
twenty-three.
happier.
My main reasoning is that the Titans defense is really not good. It's really not good. They don't get, pressure on Lamar. So when Lamar's throwing the ball, when he is, and he'll seldomly be doing that, but when he is throwing the ball, he's gonna have a clean pocket to, increase his chances to hit guys open or, make accurate throws. So I think that we'll be able to put up points, and we'll be able to put up points faster than they will. And then our defense is just getting healthy at the right time, or healthier. You know what I mean? We just got Marcus Peters back. We've got Marlon Humphrey. It's looking like we're probably going to get Jimmy Smith back for this playoff game. I think we've been stashing him just for, the playoffs. Hopefully we can get Jimmy Smith back. Calais
Please.
Campbell, yeah, Calais Campbell, Derek Wolfe, Brandon Williams, they'll all be active for us. I know Yannick Ngakoue was dealing with a calf, I believe.
Yeah. He should be good. Let's hope he plays, because we'll need him if it gets to a passing game. We'll definitely need him.
Yeah, we will. Judon's been playing a lot better lately.
Tyus
So
Bowser. I mean, he had to pick the
Bowser,
first game. Hey, we've said it before and we'll say it again. Hashtag extend Tyus Bowser. He's earned that contract. Please, just give it to him.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, man. I just think that with all the players that we have on defense, I think we'll be able to kind of stifle the run game. Hopefully, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say this is going to happen, but my prediction is that, with the pieces that we added in the offseason, like the Calais Campbell, like the Derek Wolfe, like drafting Justin Madubuike, even shout out to Justin. I seen somebody shout him out in the chat. A couple people, actually. But yeah, with all those additions, we should be able to be better suited to stop the run, to stop Derrick Henry. And if we can do that, we can stop the Titans. That's all it is. You stop Derrick Henry, you pretty much stop the Titans. Look at what the Packers did.
Man, that was like 41-4. They just ran all over him. I mean,
Yeah.
AJ Dillon had his way. Their rookie running back sounds
Right.
familiar, doesn't it? A rookie running back running over them. Hopefully, it's J.K. Dobbins this time.
You know what I mean?
Why not? And I mean, that's Aaron Rodgers just having his way with Devontae Adams. So let's hope one of our guys has he had a 3-touchdown game that day. Why not Dez? Let me see the X come up 3 times.
Yeah, man. They just, I don't know, man. I think that if you have, dang, what was I about to say? I literally just forgot what I was about to say.
It's all right. It's cool.
Nah, man. I was just going to say, like, the Titans defense, if you have the Packers running all over you like that, listen, the Packers can't run the football like the Ravens. They cannot. You know what I mean? I know they have Aaron Jones, but they are not anywhere near on the same caliber as the Baltimore Ravens running the football.
Exactly.
So, it might be a long day. It might be a long day for the Titans. The Titans, of course, they can still beat us. They can still beat us if game script is a big thing for them, right? So if they get off to a fast start, here's a big thing. Here's another key to victory that I left off. We need to protect the football.
Yes.
Limit the mistakes. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Because if there's anything that flips game script from one team's advantage to the other team's advantage, it's a turnover. So
Yeah.
we cannot be tied. We can't be tied in any situation and, turn the ball over and then they go down, score, and take the lead. We don't
It's
need anything
momentum.
like that to happen. It's momentum.
When we have the momentum, we will put our foot on that gas pedal and just
Yeah.
keep it down,
Yeah. And you see, like, momentum swings hard in football games, but
especially in the playoffs.
exactly. Momentum swings even harder in the playoffs. You've seen it time and time again, teams coming back. Like the Chiefs did it last year against the Texans.
I was about to
You
bring
know
that
what I
up.
mean? The
I was about,
Patriots did it in the Super Bowl against the Falcons. Like it swings very, very hard in the
and you can
postseason.
feel it.
You
And
can feel
it's
it.
the weirdest thing. I mean, the whole Texans Chiefs, you're up 24-0, and I think like they kicked the field goal instead of going for a touchdown. And after that,
Yeah.
that's when the momentum swung. The Chiefs just scored again, and they just kept it going. So we cannot make that mistake. And we have an experienced head coach, and I don't like picking the Ravens in these situations, but I'm like, it just has to happen. We cannot lose again to the same team. I trust our coordinators, trust our coaches, and trust the players. Now, I also want to bring up this point.
Mm.
They better be showing the whole organization. I don't care who it is, front office. They can show the people who make food at the castle. When the Titans went out on our field, going our logo, jumping around, and the only person to say something was our head coach. They better have John Harbaugh's back. And
Yeah.
I mean that. I mean, it's more than playing for each other. You're playing for a whole city, playing for your coach. Go out there and win, and then go and do what they did on their logo, because we'll get the final laugh.
Yeah. Honestly, man, all of that should definitely happen. I think you texted me that the other day. You said that like they should hang that up in the locker room, that picture of them standing on the shield and everything like that. I totally agree. I also think that, you know what I mean? We just cannot, like Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, it's going to come down to him. Like he's the equalizer on our football team. We know that. They know that. As of late, he's been playing like, and I like to say this a lot, X Games mode, man. He's going crazy. Like he's on X Games mode, bro.
He is on
It's
X Games mode.
And the reason why I say that is because he's making such good decisions. It's his decision making right now. It's like at an all-time high. Like if he feels pressure coming around the sides and the pocket's breaking down, he knows exactly when to run. He knows exactly when to scramble out and try to make a play with his arm, and he knows when to just make a play with his arm in the first place. He's just great, man. He's just an amazing player, and I can't wait to see what he does in his third playoff appearance, having him not won one yet.
Man,
You know what I mean?
That's my biggest. Man, I just want just for him, to get that monkey off the back. Because I mean, I really can't put either of the losses on him per se, but this will be the one where like, bro, you've been in the league 2 years, you have your full year experience. Let's go out there and just show people who we are. And I think I think he'll do it. And I hope he just doesn't get let down by the coaches and his teammates, because he is our leader. I mean, and he if we were to make it to the Super Bowl, he would be the reason. So let's go out there and let's do it.
Yeah, man, honestly. And let's see, our guy KLA Sports, he says the Ravens need to go out there focused and ready to work. No disrespect, just show up, play smash mouth football, and punch them in the mouth come game time. Absolutely,
that's facts.
Smash. I was about to say smash. Smash mouth football is definitely what we need to play against this team. We need to take the heart out of them. You know what I mean? Because that's what it is. Like I said earlier, it's going to be a game of sheer will. You know what I mean? We need to take the heart out of them, snatch it out of them as soon as possible. Let's see. What was I? Also, another thing too. Speaking of smash mouth football, the last time that we played the Titans was the first time we really got a big Dez Bryant sighting.
Yes,
and he was playing some smash mouth football. If I remember correctly, talking trash, getting in guys' faces, being scrappy. I liked what I saw from Dez Bryant last time. So, would you like to see more Dez Bryant action and looks and targets in this playoff game against the Titans, or do we just give all the targets, the lion's share of the targets, to Mark Andrews, Willie Snead, Marquise Brown, and only give Dez maybe 1 or 2 targets or so? What do you think about that?
He's earned more targets. I think we can all agree that, right? I mean, he's earned more, and I'm gonna go out there on a limb and say every touchdown, it all counts the same, but a touchdown from Dez, I feel, just lights so much fire on the whole team. Like it just
Yeah.
gets. I mean, just the way the team was when he scored his first touchdown, we didn't see that the whole year. Just them all happy just for one dude. So if
Yeah.
he were to score in the playoffs, his first time back since the whole Dez dropped it, that would do so much for the team. So I
Yeah.
would love for us, not force it to him, but in the red zone, look his way because he definitely can. A touchdown from him can be more than just 6 points. It can be a whole lot more to the team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's see. I think Cameron Nichols was in here. He said Dez and JK, they were trash talking, and they brought the action last time versus the Titans, man. They really
Yeah,
did. They really
they did.
did. NFL production, she says, no, don't force it. That's right. Don't force it.
Yeah,
And that's the thing about Lamar. He really has not been forcing, a lot.
to anybody.
He hasn't
He's
been
been making
forcing
smart
anything.
throws.
Yeah, which is something that you love to see. Jediah, what's up with you, man? He says, no penalties, no turnovers. We win.
It's honestly
Absolutely.
that simple. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Because name me a team that's had no penalties, no turnovers, and they lost. Probably hard to
Right.
find.
And we've been a pretty penalized team this season, but
The
the
illegal
Titans
formations, man.
the Titans are actually even more penalized than we are.
Really.
Yeah,
Let's hope they
they
shoot
are.
themselves in their own foot,
Yeah.
like
Hopefully.
Plaxico
We'll see.
Burress. But
KLA Sports, he says, I guess his key to victory. He says, I say we do what they did against Lamar last year for Henry. Stack the box and force him to run east to west. Don't bite too hard on play action and stay disciplined for the passing game.
yeah, because
Okay.
Tannehill beat us last year when it was on a play action, and Marlon Humphrey got burnt deep.
Yeah.
That cannot happen again.
Can't bite too hard. Yeah. It's really all about discipline. Our DBs and our linebackers have to be super disciplined playing against a team like the Titans because that play action can kill you at any moment. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry just broke off a 25-yard run 2 plays ago, so now we're all cheating up trying to stop him again from breaking one off again. And the
And
next
then
thing you know, Tannehill he rolls out and then he throws it deep to AJ Brown or Corey Davis or whoever. Or Ferks or whoever, you know what I
or
mean?
John
So
Smith or John. That's another key. Don't let John Smith score because the
yeah,
past few times we played, he scored against us. So please, just hold him
yeah.
because, man,
No, but see, I like what KLA Sports is saying about get Henry running east and west instead
yeah,
of running, getting that full head of steam running through the line of scrimmage. And I think that's what's going to happen because we have those big bodies on our defensive line going in this time. We've got the Calais Campbell, we've got the Derek Wolf, we've got the big baby. You know what I mean? That's going to
yeah,
force Derrick Henry on a lot of his runs to go towards the outside, in which case we're going to need our guys on the outside, our edge rushers, our Yannick
yes.
Ngakwe's,
Tyus Bowser, Matt
Tyus
Judon.
Bowser's to set the edge. Also for our linebackers to come in and finish up and clean up the play. Our linebacker play has to be second to none against this team. It really does. They have to be the most disciplined. Our guys, Patrick Queen, Malik Harrison, LJ
LJ
Ford, all
Ford,
those
Chris
guys.
Board.
Yes, Chris Board. We're gonna need all of those guys, and I know they're gonna show up, man. Those guys are ballers. So I hope they can stay disciplined. Just don't try to cheat up too much on the run and then end up getting burned for a first down completion, that sort of thing. But yeah, man.
The scary
Linebacker
thing
play and
is,
DB play. Yeah.
is how fast Henry is in the first place.
Yeah, man.
It's just he's that big and has that much speed. It's just not. It's like you created a player on Madden and
Yeah.
you just turned all the sliders up.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
it's scary.
Let's see. Boz, our guy Boz, who is actually should now be a moderator in the chat. If
Yes,
I'm not mistaken.
our
Yeah,
guy
I think
Boz.
Boz, yeah, he's a moderator in the chat now. So he says Dez has more experience than anyone in the locker room for the most part. Get him involved and let Dez play like old Dez. I mean, but it's just like the thing is, he's not old Dez anymore. You know what I mean? Like, he's a little bit older
He
now.
he's more ripped as he
Yeah,
definitely got ripped. But we don't want to force it to him, but we want to get him involved because he is one of our receivers that say that will take a big hit, brush
yeah.
it off, get up, and then get tackled, and then he'll let you know that you can't take him down.
I like it, like what Boz said. I like the experience factor. That's the main thing. Like he
He's
can
been here
coach up
before.
these guys. He's been here before. He can coach up the wide receivers who have struggled in big games. Must I say? Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, like in all of the big games that we've lost, our receivers have really struggled with drops, just not getting open.
Yes.
all that sort of
Yes.
stuff. So I would like to see Des Bryant, on the field and off the field, coaching these guys up and getting them ready for their big moment. Because I think I said it a couple of weeks ago. Like, at the end of the day, when our backs are up against the wall and one of these playoffs games, which may actually happen, we're gonna need our receivers to step up. And what
Yeah.
better guy than player than Des Bryant to be talking up our guys and making sure that they're where they need to be mentally and physically as well.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, did you have anything to add though?
No, I don't. We got 57 people watching. So once again, thank you to everybody watching. If you haven't,
Absolutely.
drop a
Yeah.
like. Drop a like.
Drop a like. Drop a like and go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. We're going to keep it moving here with you guys' questions and comments and concerns in the chat. Colin Cam, he says this game is going to come down to physicality. The first time we played them, we were physical and on point with tackling. We didn't follow through the second half, leading a Derrick Henry comeback. Yeah, man.
And that's a great point. I know Derek Wolf said it after we lost. He said this team cannot put together a complete 60 minutes. And since then, I want to say we've put together a few complete 60-minute games. Right here is the biggest one of them all. So it's not, we played good the first half. We played good the first three quarters. No, we have to play good every quarter, every minute, every second, every single minute, every second in order to win in the playoff games. That is the biggest thing, You cannot let your head get in a different place because one mistake and that can be the whole game.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Josh Price, he says another thing that hurt us last year is we rested and we had the bye. And I don't think we took Tennessee seriously. The team was 14-2 and their eyes were on the Lombardi too soon. Yeah, we touched on that a little bit earlier.
Definitely both agree with that. Definitely both agree with that.
Yeah, definitely agree for sure. This year, the mentality seems a lot different. Guys seem more humble. They seem more mature, more locked in. And you just got to know, like, for the majority of this team, or at least the guys who have been here since 2018, Lamar's first year.
Yeah.
They know what it's like to lose in those big moments, and I know they're getting tired of it. You know what I mean? Last year was like, okay, we're 14-2. We're expected to be, Super Bowl champions this year. And then they lose. They go one and done. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now we're right back in the same spot as last season.
I'll go even further. 2018. The Chargers, we're on a hot run. We only lost to the Chiefs that year.
Yep.
They come in and we had 23 passing yards for three quarters. 2017, Tyler Boyd, no Lamar at the quarterback. Tyler Boyd touchdown. 2016, AB on Christmas Day. I mean, and then 2015 was 5-11, and 2014 we blew two 14-point leads. So each year it's been some sort of heartbreak. Please, can we just have a year off? Please, let's just go out there and do it. Do our thing.
Yeah. That's true. Let's see.
Actually, there is. I want to touch to a point real quick. I remember last year distinctively because I loved what he said. After we lost, Marlon Humphrey was being interviewed in the locker room. He said, "This team is a bunch of chokers. This is our identity," and that stuck with me because that takes a real leader. That takes a leader to point that out. So I really hope he has a good game. Maybe he has a pick, maybe a fruit punch, but. If somebody were to have a big game in our secondary, I'm going to go Marlon Humphrey because it takes a lot of balls to say that about not just himself, the whole team.
Yeah, and I'm sure that he remembers that tweet. He's going to remember that tweet in his subconscious going into this game against the Titans again. He's going to know what he said. He's going to remember that, and he's going to use that as fuel in order to play his ass off this game. And that's why you got to love a guy like Marlon Humphrey, man, because he's such a leader. He's so vocal on the field, you know what I mean? Like, whether he's making a play or whether somebody else is making a play, he kind of brings that defense together. He's a very, very vital piece to our defense. So hopefully he has a really good game because we're definitely going to need him. He's a top 3 corner in the league, period.
100%.
Our guy, Pretty Boy Suave, he says, don't forget the first time they played us, they had to use trick plays on us. Yeah. This is another interesting point.
Man.
You know what I mean? Because those trick plays really kind of broke our backs,
Man. Yep. I know it all too well. I remember it.
Yeah, man. It was very painful, very painful. We're going to have to, and there's really like not much you can do against trick plays. You know what I mean? You just kind of have to hope that guys are instinctive enough to kind of not be fooled or kind of realize they're being fooled, soon enough. But It is what it is. If we let them get on our within the 5 yard line, they're probably gonna score a touchdown. That's just
It'll be Tannehill or Henry.
you
It's one
know.
of the two.
So yeah, we just need to keep them out of the red zone. Keep them
Yeah.
out of the red zone and force Tannehill to make mistakes. You know what I mean? We need to put this game in Tannehill's hands. Like our defense, we need to say, Ryan Tannehill, here you go. Win the Tennessee Titans the game. Do not give that opportunity to Derrick Henry. You know? So, and that comes by pressure and getting pressure on Ryan Tannehill, which I believe we'll be able to do.
Hope.
Yeah,
Really
hopefully.
hope. I hope it's a sack fest nonstop.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I tell you what, though, that first drive of that game is going to be very telling. Like,
Yeah,
whoever gets the
you'll
ball
find
first,
out.
you'll really see how the game is going to go. Whoever gets the ball first, that first down and 10, say they get it, it's going to be a run with Derrick Henry, most likely. You know what I mean? Most likely, unless they do some crazy stuff and hit us over the top or whatever. But as long as we can stop Derrick Henry on first and second down and set up obvious passing situations on third down, I feel like we'll be okay. What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I gotta agree with you there. I really have to agree with you. I hope that they're listening to you because you have called these games before. You know, you had the predictions right already. Hopefully, you have another one right.
I hope so too, man. I hope so too. I hope what I say, 41-23. Yeah,
Yeah.
41-23. I hope we
Yeah.
can win by that margin. Kevin Rivera says Ravens 35, Titans 17. That's not a bad score prediction either. Let's see.
And I think none of us are taking the Titans lightly. You know, it's just we're tired of it. This is kind of just the disrespect we've, as fans, have endured for the past year. Like the Ravens have been one of the most disrespected teams, I'd say. You know,
Yeah,
so
they
let's
have been,
kind of
honestly.
prove people wrong.
Nobody likes us, man. Nobody likes the Ravens. Nobody wants
Think
to see us
about,
succeed.
they're comparing Kyler to Lamar. And it's always Lamar people are getting compared to, and where are these quarterbacks at? And who
At
is the one who,
home.
right? So I don't get it. So I just tired of these 0-2, 0-2, 0-2 because he's gonna do it in the playoffs, and I cannot wait for it to happen.
Fatal Storm Clan says, will J.K. Dobbins get more rushing yards than Derrick Henry?
Nah,
No. See, the thing about it is that Derrick Henry is not in a crowded backfield. You know what I
exactly.
mean? He's not in a committee. He's not part of a committee. He's going to be getting the lion's share. And when I say the lion's share, that's pretty much like 90% of the snaps. So, yeah. No, I don't think that J.K. will have more rushing yards than Derrick Henry unless J.K. Dobbins can break off another one of those 72-yard runs.
Yes,
You know, then that would give
be
him
a
a pretty
tone
good
setter.
shot. Yeah,
That
absolutely.
first drive, a big run, that would really set the tone for us.
And you know what? I'm looking in my crystal ball, bro.
Okay,
I'm looking in the crystal ball.
are we taking
and
a flashback?
I'm going. We're looking in the future here.
Okay, you
We're
look at the
looking in
future. I was thinking about the past. You go first with the future. I have something for the past.
Okay, I'm just saying, man. I'm thinking that you're right. I'm thinking J.K. Dobbins rips off a big run on the first drive that we have on offense, man. I'm calling that. I'm calling
Okay.
that.
Okay, because I'm thinking a certain game in 2009 against
Yeah.
the Patriots, a certain number 27 broke off a touchdown run first drive of the game. I think first play of the game.
Oh, I don't remember if it was first play.
It was very early, but
We did
against
set the
Pa-
tone in that game. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
so why not do it again? But hey, it's kind of like the both of them coming together. We're both hoping for a long touchdown run from number 27.
Yeah, man. J.K. Dobbins, please, man. We know J.K. Dobbins. He's our guy now. He's our future. Gus Edwards, I don't know what we do with him, like going forward. Do we keep him after this year?
Yes,
We do?
I say you lock him up for 3 years because that leaves
Lock him up
J.K.
for
on
3
3 years and then Gus Edwards on 3. J.K. and Gus has the potential to just be a running tandem we've never seen before because it's just so dominant. And then with Lamar too,
Yeah.
I
It's
really
super hard to
want to
stop.
keep him locked up.
Yeah. I would love to keep J.K. Dobbins, not J.K. Dobbins, but get Gus Edwards locked up. But I feel like he might ask for a little bit too much money. You know, we might have to move off him because he's played really well, man. He's played really well.
Well, he'll be a
for us.
restricted free agent, so we'll probably put a second round tender on him. So even if he goes somewhere else, we'll get something. But looking at him, like I think we will give him a decent amount of money. But look at the situation he would go in. You know, would it be
Yeah.
the same type of line, same type of scheme? So
Yeah,
it's a lot
you're
for him
right.
to take in. But I really want him to stay in Baltimore, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Gus Edwards though is that like I feel like in whatever scheme that he could possibly play in, just his running style is something that any team would love to have. Any player,
Yeah.
he's very physical. He doesn't shy away from contact at all. He will run through a guy. He will stiff arm a guy. He will outrun a guy. You know what I mean? Like he's really good in multiple parts of his game, multiple areas of his game. So I don't know, man. I feel like they might have to end up moving away from him eventually. I don't know if we're gonna be able to keep him for 3 years.
I hope. Yeah. I hope.
Yeah. I mean, his dreadlocks are getting longer too, and I feel like that's giving him more like running back powers.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yes. Easily.
Yeah, man. I was noticing that. I was like, okay, I see the hair getting a little long there, Gus. We see you. Let's see. Lenny Beason, he says we need to run the ball to set up the passing game. Lamar needs to keep running like he has been. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I mean, I think the Rain Gang, if we could all just like, they listen to us. We're giving you the keys to win the game.
The keys. Yeah, definitely. And, running the ball to set up the passing game, like I was saying earlier, we got to keep him honest. Lamar's got to hit those guys. He's got to hit Mark Andrews. Let's talk about Mark Andrews.
Okay.
Let's talk about Mark Andrews.
I love me some Mark Andrews. You love him. I love him. I think we all love him. But we definitely got to talk about it because there's been times in big games where he's choked. I'm sorry. Yeah. He hasn't stepped up. And now he had a big touchdown in the first game against the Titans this year. Big. Mm-hmm. But I know I'll go back to last year, the whole tip, and that was an interception. In the Chiefs, he dropped a touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him. I need you to just step up there and be who you are. Be that Mark Andrews we love. That we know and love. Dog goes up there and gets it.
Right, man. We need that energy. And the huge thing about this game is that we're going to have to bring our own energy. We're on the road, and the Titans are going to have, 12,000 to 16,000 fans or something like that?
And let's all go. I wish the whole Rain Gang could go to the game, man.
I know. Yeah, me too, man. But, we're going to have to bring our own energy. And Mark Andrews is one of those guys who he brings his own energy when he's playing well. You know what I mean? Like, he gets fired up when he makes, a big first down catch, this or that, or, just a good completion or a good catch. We need more of that from Mark Andrews in this game if we're going to have any chance at winning. You know what I mean? Because he's a chain mover. And he's Lamar's security blanket. So he's going to need to, I know he's going to be double teamed, maybe even triple teamed at some points, but Lamar's still going to be looking for him. And we've seen it time and time again. Lamar will throw to Mark Andrews in traffic. He did
it yesterday, triple coverage. And if he didn't get hit, he's coming down with that. So I'm really, that's a really good point. Bring up Mark Andrews.
It's just no drops, please, no drops.
Please. So we are an hour in. I think, are we all good on Ravens stuff? I mean, you can put your questions in, last questions. Yeah, but I know I'm going to talk about the playoffs. I got a little announcement too. I am not making a Ravens Titans hype video. The last couple times I made one, we've lost. It's not happening. I'm very superstitious. I made one for the Chiefs game, the Steelers game last year. And I did one other one, and we lost all of them, 0-4. So it's not happening. Sorry, but it's not happening.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. The superstition.
Yeah, and it's just I don't want to be that guy, but it's you know what? Are some views worth my team losing? Nah, screw that.
Yeah, nah, definitely not. Let's see. Nicholas Branch, he says, thoughts on Jaron Curse potentially helping us. What are your thoughts on that, bro?
I mean, he wasn't the best in coverage. I would have personally rather had Tony Jefferson back if we're talking safeties because he knows the defense.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's depth for next year if somebody goes down, but I really don't see anything happening with it unless you do.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's literally just depth for me. At the end of the day, I feel like we're going to need guys. We're definitely going to need guys down the stretch, especially if guys end up getting banged up, which is very, very possible. So, I can see that happening.
Yeah. I know. So my guy, Boz, made a good point. We aren't going to have a fantasy talk anymore. But I do want to give a congratulations because Boz won my league. He won the fantasy championship. So congratulations, Boz. You deserved it. Yeah. So I'm going to miss the fantasy talk. That was fun. Fantasy talks were fun. Yeah. But I think next year we're talking about having a Rain Gang fantasy league.
Yes. So be on the lookout for that next year.
Yes.
Rain Gang. Let's see. Now, before we get into the playoffs, I have a couple of just kind of current event topics and stuff like that I wanted to run by
Do it.
you, Alex, and run by the Rain Gang as well. So you guys get your ears pinned back and ready because I got some questions for you guys.
I'm ready.
Current events.
Let's do it.
All right, so first up,
Yes.
do you guys think that right now the Bills are scarier than the Chiefs? So the Bills, they almost put up 60 on a good Miami defense yesterday.
Fighting for a
And
chance.
they're fighting, bro.
That was
And
crazy.
they just signed Kenny Stills to their practice squad. So,
If
listen,
you didn't know
man.
that, Kenny Stills highlights simply AS10 on YouTube. This little slight promotion.
Check them out. Check them out. But listen, man, it seems like they're going all in to win a championship this season. They're really looking to run the table and go all the way. So with that being said, do you think that the Bills are scarier than the Chiefs?
You know what? I'm going yes. All right? Let me back this up real quick. I'm going to take it back to last year. Number 1 seed, bye week, resting starters week 17. Who does that sound like? Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And if you're not going to sit here and tell me that they are not going to be rusty going out there, because you cannot emulate, you can't have a game in practice. Nothing's going to match that intensity. I'm going, yeah, they are scarier because they've also been suspect. That game against the Falcons, they should have lost, but the Falcons corner dropped a short interception that would have sealed the game. So, yes, the Buffalo Bills are scarier right now than the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. I respect that too, but I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say the Chiefs are still scarier than the Buffalo Bills, and here's my reason why. The Chiefs are just coming off of a Super Bowl winning season. They're also coming off of a 14-2 regular season. Yesterday, you really don't even have to count that game because, of course, Mahomes didn't play. But they only had one other loss throughout the whole season, which was to the Raiders earlier in the season. I think around like week 4 or 5 or something like that. But listen, man, the Chiefs, they have Patrick Mahomes. And as long as they have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, they have the most amount of weapons, man. They have the best quarterback. Yeah. They have the best receiver. They have the best tight end. And they have the best offensive coordinator. Yes. And they have one of the best head coaches, arguably. So it's like I don't really see the Bills being scarier when it all comes down to it. If the Bills were to face up against the Chiefs, I'm still picking the Chiefs. What about you?
Okay. Tell you what, I really can't. I would say Chiefs, but I need to see how their wins would be compared to the Bills' wins. You know, if it was a win that they just were stomping them, or if it was a close win where, let's say, Mahomes looked bad, they get bailed out. That's what I would. But I would probably take the Chiefs over Bills, just because also that experience. That's huge. Now, notice that the Bills right now are scarier than the Chiefs. That's right now because things can change in one game. Somebody can get hurt. Something can happen. So I would take the Chiefs over Bills if they were to meet. But right now I'm saying the Bills are scarier than the Chiefs. It's confusing, I know, but that's just how I'm feeling with it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I got the Chiefs, man. Scarier than the Bills. But I'm going to get into the next question. So
actually, I have a question for you real quick.
Yeah.
I think it's undisputed. Is Travis Kelce the best tight end in the league?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I think he is. I mean, Kittle, I think, is a better all-around tight end. But if we're talking like catch-wise, getting that production, I'm going Kelce. This man could have won the, I think, receiving title as a tight end, which is unheard of. So I think Travis Kelce is the best as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going. My top 3 will be Kelce, Kittle, and then Waller right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. 100%.
Yep. So my next question I have for you guys in the Rain Gang, let's see. So Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, he officially wants out of Philadelphia. That's, was breaking news the other day. And the whole Jalen Hurts situation going on in Philly right now is very interesting as well because, he's probably going to be their future. So that leaves Carson Wentz, a guy who just a couple years ago was league MVP, well on his way to leading his team on a playoff run. He got hurt right before the playoffs and his team still went and won the Super Bowl. And then he came back and just was never quite the same. Yeah. Carson Wentz is a quarterback who we all still respect as a decent or good quarterback, but he actually led the league in bad throws this season.
Really?
which is something that I did not know until earlier today when I was doing my research. He led the league in bad throws, and then you saw what happened when Jalen Hurts came in. He kind of gave a spark to that offense and turned things around as a rookie. So Wentz once out, what do you guys think would be his possible destinations where he could go?
Yeah. Number one, can we respect my guy for doing the research? He looked it up. He found it out. Like that deserves a like, sub, and share everything. That was great. I think we've talked about it. I'm gonna go Indianapolis. 'Cause I think this is Phillip Rivers last year too. I just think
Yeah,
it makes sense.
yeah, it does make sense. I could see Indianapolis, but I could also see Carson Wentz going to the Patriots as well. I could
Okay,
see that happening.
that's a
I'm,
really good point.
like Bill Belichick, they're moving off of Cam
From
Newton.
Cam
That's the
Newton,
other news. You know what I
yes,
mean?
and we
And
have
we'll get
head
into
coaching
that in
fire.
the
There's so many moves we have to talk about. So
yeah,
many.
yeah. So I'm thinking that he may either. I think Indy's a good choice, but also yeah, and Josh Price, he says Indy if Phillip Rivers retires. Rivers does look a little bit old. He has looked very old this season to me at least. Even though
In
they've
the
been kind of
playoffs.
riding off of Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
been a monster.
he's been
Monster.
a beast. But if he does retire, then that is very possible. Carson Wentz could definitely go to Indianapolis. But like I said, I think he could go to New England. I think that's probably the biggest destination for
Re-
him.
I'm going to Indy still just because they have more weapons than New England.
Yeah.
New
But see, here's the
England's
thing.
weapon.
But Carson Wentz, he's used to playing without weapons.
That's
So I
true.
think that like they could bring a guy like him in, and then they're still gonna have a decent pick in the draft. So I
Yeah.
could see them going out and getting a Kyle Pitts. You know what I mean? So he has like that tight end security blanket like he had in Zach Ertz. Boom! Now he's already comfortable. It's already kind of like Philly. You know what I mean? I got
Yeah.
a star tight end, and then the Patriots are not really that good at drafting wide receiver, but they could trade for somebody and they could go from there. Damian Harris on
They
the
could
running
sign Allen
game, he could be all
Robinson.
right. They could sign Allen Robinson. You
Yeah.
know, it could be a fresh start, a totally fresh start for Carson Wentz,
Yeah.
and I see that happening.
It's really good. Really good question. I like that one.
Yeah. Let's see. Rye Joe says, "What if the Bears grabbed him?"
Bro, I don't even know how the Bears made the playoffs in the first place. I don't get it. They lost and they still got in. I'm just confused. Like how I don't know. The Bears really confuse me as a team. I don't know
Yeah.
who they are. I don't know what their identity is. So I expect them to
Mm.
lose to the Saints, but I think they're going to have a
Yeah.
really good fight, to be honest.
Really,
But
you think it's gonna be a good game?
the Saints in the playoffs they scare me. They scare me.
Okay.
They remind me of the Ravens. They do. They're chokers like
That's
us. I'm not. I'm not scared to say it. What I want to get in with you is you called another. I mean, just fortune teller's son at this point. Because a few weeks ago you said I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers move on from Anthony Lynn. And what happened today?
Yeah.
They officially parted ways.
Yeah, they got him up out of there, man. Along with Doug Marrone, they got him out of there, out of Jacksonville,
Yeah,
and then Adam Gase is out of New York now. So yeah, the coaching carousel has officially started. Today is Black Monday,
yeah, it is.
as they
It
call it.
is.
But speaking of head coaches, my next question was this: where does Eric Bieniemy land next year as a head coach? Because the projection is, listen, he's done in Kansas City after this
Yeah.
year. He's done way too well.
Wonders.
You know what I
Wonders.
mean? To not look for that head coaching job, and I know teams are calling him. So, what team do you think could actually land him as a head coach, or what out of those three teams, the Jets, the
Jags, Lions,
Jags, and the
Falcons, Texans, and
Falcons
the
too? Yeah, yeah,
Texans. I don't want him to go to Detroit. Detroit is a
yeah.
place where your career will get killed.
Hmm.
I feel the one that makes the most sense, Houston. I mean, can you just imagine him and Deshaun Watson? They don't have a lot of draft capital, which isn't looking good. But I'm gonna go either Houston or Jacksonville. All right, Jacksonville has a very exciting young roster. Got the first overall pick. They got like 11 picks this year. A good draft, and they can start making noise in their division.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but I'm gonna disagree with you again, bro.
Okay.
I have to disagree with you again because I honestly think that his best landing destination would be the Chargers. It'll
That's
be the
that
LA
was my
Chargers,
second.
man.
That was my second.
Because
Yeah.
you think about what they have in LA right now. They have a multitude of weapons for Eric Bieniemy to mess around with when he gets there. Justin
Yes.
Herbert, a bright, young, fresh quarterback who is a great pocket passer, at least so far in his career. I'm sure he'll take the next step next season. But also, listen, he can move the pocket like a Patrick Mahomes can. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He can roll out and he can actually be a little bit mobile as well and make throws on the run, which is what you need. A dynamic quarterback in today's football game. Also, like I said, they have weapons. They have a Keenan Allen. They have a Mike Williams. And then most importantly, they have an Austin Eckler as well. And Austin Eckler is a guy that Eric Bieniemy could have a lot of fun with, you know what I mean, on the
Yeah.
football field. That would be like his ideal situation. My only issue with him going to the Texans is that like when he gets there, he has Deshaun Watson, and then what else? He's got Duke and David on the ground. We know that,
Yes.
but what
And
else? You know?
Bill O'Brien ruined them. I mean, they don't have the Dolphins right now. They have like the fourth or fifth overall pick, or maybe even the third,
Yeah,
because they traded away for Laramie Tunsil. So that's the one thing that's not looking good for Texans fans. You don't really have a future to look forward to because the draft this year isn't the best. I mean, you could have had another first round pick if you had a GM who actually knew what the fuck they were doing when trading DeAndre Hopkins. So part of my language. That trade makes no sense. How you don't get a first round back for him. I just don't get that. I feel for
yeah,
Texans fans. I mean, you have a really good quarterback. I say top five, Deshaun Watson, and he's kind of stuck in that terrible situation. Um, Speaking of the Chargers, you're right. That is a really good situation for Bieniemy to go into.
yeah,
Um, and also Herbert on his rookie contract. So you're gonna have some money to spend.
yeah, yeah, man. Honestly, man, they can beef up that defense. You know,
Derwin
I
James
think
is
they could
coming
be really
back.
good. The Chargers can be competitive. They can be very competitive, and they will be competitive in the next few seasons, especially if they get Eric Bieniemy a head coach.
Yes, that's you know what I'm gonna have to go. I like Chargers. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
so
Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch my pick.
So, yeah, so we'll keep it at that. And then the last question that I have for you,
Okay. And the
this kind of
chat
goes back,
and the
yeah,
rain
and the
game.
chat, the Rain Gang as well. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. Shout out to everybody watching live right now. Also, if you're watching this after the fact, you're not watching the live version, we love you just as much. Make
Of
sure you like
course.
the video, subscribe as well, and leave a comment too, so we can actually personally get back to you with our responses after the fact.
Yes.
But last question I have is, and this is kind of going back to Cam Newton. We touched on him earlier. Who is New England going to get at quarterback because they're parting ways with Cam Newton after this season? What is their next move?
Man, I don't know. I don't think Stidham is the answer.
Me neither.
I think he'll be there maybe in the preseason, see what he can do.
Yeah.
But I don't really know. You know, depending how much money they have. I mean, Dak Prescott's a free agent. I just can't see them splashing that much cash on the quarterback. Um,
Yeah.
and they're not going to draft one of the top rated guys in the draft because they're not high up enough. Um, what are they going to do? You know what? Andy Dalton could be a possibility.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Um,
right.
but besides that, I don't know who. You kind of stumped me on that one because the Patriots are a weird team.
Let's see. KLA Sports says the Patriots get Kyle Trask. Who's that? The Florida quarterback,
Yes,
I believe.
yes.
Yeah. Josh Price, he says, imagine if the Patriots get Jimmy G back. Wouldn't that be something? What are the 49ers going
That's
to
kind
do?
of, you know, they're not a bad team. They look good even with all the injuries. The
Hmm.
Cardinals gave the Seahawks a run for their money
Yeah.
yesterday, with the Seahawks
Yeah.
still having something to play for. I mean, CJ Beathard didn't look bad, but he didn't look good. Um, I think you got to keep Jimmy G. I think he's a pretty damn good quarterback, to be honest.
Yeah. Honestly. Yep. But like I said, man, honestly, with New England, Wentz would probably be the best situation, and Boz brings it up again. If they could manage to land Carson Wentz some way, somehow, then that would be a huge W for the Patriots and that
Yeah,
offense, I think.
yeah,
Because they have
yeah.
like a, Wentz is still fairly young. You know what I mean? He's not like
Mhm.
he's not an older guy. He can still make some plays. He just needs, because we've seen flashes out of Carson Wentz. That's the thing. I still feel bad for him, but he just needs an opportunity. He needs a legitimate shake, like a legitimate shot and opportunity. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that, and we'll see what the Patriots do at quarterback as well. But now, what
Okay.
were you about to say?
You guys have stumped me today with these questions, man. I'm not gonna lie. There have been some good questions today. Got me thinking. Um,
Now, let me
yeah.
see. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, for the playoffs, let's get into our playoff
Let's
predictions
go.
for
Let's
the
go.
wild card matchups. Let's see. So let me pull up the list here for you guys.
While he's pulling it up, uh,
Hmm.
I want everybody in the chat. Tell me what game are you looking forward to the most? It can be Ravens
Yeah,
Titans. It doesn't have to be Ravens Titans. What other game are you looking forward to? Because I think we have a lot of good games this week. I'm actually
yeah,
pretty excited to see the Buccaneers and the Washington football team play. A really good offense against a really good defense. That's going to be a fun one. And Brady back in the
yeah.
playoffs? Come on. With a different team? It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. So now we are looking at the current playoff picture is I don't know if any like what I wonder what here's what I want to ask you first. What are the surprise teams in the playoffs this year that made it? And I'm gonna pull up the list for you guys right here, right now. There we go. So you guys can see which one of these teams is the biggest surprise. Before we start making picks and everything like that, which one of these teams is the biggest surprise? For me, it's Washington for sure.
It has to be Washington. It has to
Some
be.
some people will argue Cleveland, but I'm definitely gonna say Washington because they just kind of came out of left field, name change and
New
coach
coach.
change and
Yeah.
just everything.
Quarterback
And like,
controversy. I mean,
yeah,
then you have your Alex Smith, almost lose his whole leg. I mean, and then they're rookies. I mean, doing their thing. Gibson and Chase Young having, I
yeah,
think, one of the best pass rush, this pass rush in general in the league. So
yeah,
I go Washington. I wouldn't say the Browns are surprised because I expected them to be in the playoffs last year. They didn't make it, so I wasn't really too surprised. I was actually more surprised they didn't choke it this year, if I'm being completely honest.
yeah,
Um, Besides that, I mean, maybe the Colts, but then again, they're going to vet quarterback in Rivers, had a good coach in Frank Reich, so
yeah.
can't really be too surprised with that. I mean, I just think Washington has to be the answer.
True. I feel that. I feel that. So let's go ahead and make our score predictions for each and every
Okay.
wild card game. We'll start in the NFC. How about that?
Okay. Let's do
We'll
it.
start in the NFC. So the first one we have is the Chicago Bears versus the New Orleans Saints. Seventh seed versus the 2 seed. I've got the New Orleans Saints in this one, man. I've got them winning easily, probably like what 35-16. I would say.
Okay.
I would say it'll be a little bit tight early, and then the Saints will just kind of pull away,
Okay.
and the Bears won't be able to keep up. So I'm gonna go 35-16 Saints. What about you?
I'm going to go 42-21. I think Saints can't guard Mike should be back, Michael Thomas. Um, my biggest fear, though, is Drew Brees. I mean, his arm, I really haven't seen him do a lot with his arm, but they got Alvin Kamara who ran for 6 touchdowns a few weeks ago, or not even like a week or so ago. So it's
Yeah.
hard to go against the Saints. I don't think they'll be the Aints. They'll be the Saints this week.
They're normally not the Aints until the NFC Championship game, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But let's see. Second matchup, we have the Los Angeles Rams visiting the Seattle Seahawks, the 8th seed versus the 3 seed. This game is a little bit more interesting.
It is. It is. It is.
But sheesh, man, it's tough.
I don't think Jared Goff will be ready to play either. So I was looking at John Wolford will be the quarterback for the Rams once again.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that. I thought he was going to be geared up to play, Jared Goff.
I mean, it's kind of a long shot at this point. He might play, but I'm not expecting him to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle in this game, definitely based off of what you just told me. And Russell Wilson, I know he's chasing that second ring, man.
Yeah.
He's chasing that second ring. He should already have two, honestly.
Malcolm
But
Butler. Thanks.
yeah, but he's chasing that second one, and I feel like he's not gonna lose his wild card matchup, especially not at home. Him, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett.
Chris
You
Carson.
watch Chris Carson. You watch the Seahawks, and they pull out a lot of like miracle type plays. Russell Wilson pulls out a lot of miracle type plays, like fourth down, just back up against the wall. He seems to like always be able to make a play or at least just put his team in a really good position to win. So I'm going to go with Seattle over the Rams, especially considering that they do not have Jared Goff and John Wolford will be starting at quarterback. I've got Seattle winning this one pretty comfortably. I say 28-13.
It hurts me to say this because Rams are my second team, but I think the Seahawks are going to win this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard for them to lose, did I say? I mean, Wolford didn't look that good against the Cardinals. He got the job done to get them in the playoffs, and he's not really a McVay quarterback, He's not like a project. He's not a guy like Goff where the potential's there. So I'm going to go Seahawks. It'll be closer. Division games are always close. I'm going 31-28 Seattle.
Okay. I feel that. I like that. Let's see. So let's get to the third matchup here. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the 5th seeded Tampa Bay Buccaneers, headed to Landover, Maryland to face the Washington football team, the 4th seed. This is a little bit of an interesting one because we haven't seen Washington in the postseason in years. Fun fact, the last time Washington actually won a playoff game was against the Buccaneers, and that was about 15 years ago.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been a while, but these two teams do meet again in the playoffs. This will be an interesting game, but I do have the Bucs winning.
Yes.
I think that they will not, like Washington, that is, I don't think the Washington football team is going to be able to keep up with them on offense. Alex Smith is not the type of quarterback who's going to necessarily go out there and win you a game, throw for 300, 400 yards and 2-3 touchdowns and win you the football game. And you're going to need that in the playoffs at the end of the day.
You are?
You're going to need that. Especially against, a team like Tampa Bay who's got a surging Tom Brady right now. He's playing really, really well, really good football. I think the final score to this one will be it might get ugly. It might get ugly, honestly. Yeah, it might get ugly. I'm going to go 41-21.
Okay. I don't know if he's in here. I got God Baby. Huge Buccaneers fan. I'm going Bucks. Who was going to cover Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown? I just need to know that. And then Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah.
I just can't see them containing that. And Tom Brady, I think threw like 43 touchdowns this year. That's absurd. Unheard of.
Yeah, man.
And his line's doing good. Their defense is showing up. Devin White, Levante David doing their thing.
Right.
All of this with Vita Vea out, their run stuffer. They still got Ndamukong Suh. I'm going to go Buccaneers. I think as much as, Washington is a good story, going Buccaneers 35-14.
Okay.
Yeah.
35-14 Buccaneers. So we agree on all the NFC wildcard matchups. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
I like that. And we got some people in the chat as well. Our guy Sean Carter, he said Washington football team 21-17.
Okay.
Unknown Goat, he says 24-13 Bucks. NFL Productions, he says 40-12.
For who?
I'm guessing in favor of the Bucks because I don't see the Washington football team putting up 40 points. Phineas Humphrey, what's up, Phineas? Yes. He says Bucks 24-17. Okay, I like that. A little close game, low scoring kind of game. Yeah. Unknown Goat says never mind, 38-17 Bucks.
Be like that.
Yeah, be like that. But let's go ahead and get into the AFC. Playoffs. Let's start from the top.
Where our
work
bread
our way
and butter
down.
is. AFC.
Yeah,
we know the
our
AFC.
bread and butter. We know these guys very well. So starting off, we have the 7th seeded Indianapolis Colts squaring off against the 2nd seeded Buffalo Bills. The Bills will be playing at home, of course. This game here, I just think it's going to come down to firepower, and I also think that Jonathan Taylor is going to be taken out of the game early.
Yeah.
Because the Bills are going to put up points. They're going to put up points. And they're going to force Phillip Rivers to throw that arm, that noodle arm.
That weird like throwing. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look the greatest anymore. I think that, he'll probably end up retiring soon. But he's going to have to throw the ball, sub 50 times a game.
I mean,
50
just
times the game.
you
So
got Josh Allen on the other side who can just sling it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just a young gunner. So I've got the Bills winning this matchup. I feel like this one could also get a little bit ugly, but not too ugly. I feel like the Bills will probably win by around like maybe, I don't know, 15 points or so, 2 scores. I've got the Bills winning. I'm gonna go 36-20.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go 36-20.
36. Don't
Yeah.
really see that too often. 36. Okay.
No.
Gotta agree with you. I mean, Buffalo, Diggs, Beasley, John Brown, now Kenny Stills, Isaiah McKenzie, Devin Singletary, and Zach Moss, Dawson Knox. That's
Hmm.
and then Josh
Yeah.
Allen throwing them off. And then you have Tre'Davious White, Josh Norman on the other side. Gonna go
Yeah.
Bills 40-24.
40-24. Okay. I like that. I like that. So we're still agreeing here. Unknown
We're
Goat,
agreeing.
he says 34-17 Bills. Jonathan Washington Jr. says 35-23. I don't know who it's for. Maybe the Bills. I'm assuming that.
Or maybe the Colts.
Phineas says maybe the Colts. Phineas says Bills 28-13. It's another good score prediction. I like that one as well. Yeah. So we'll get into the second matchup. We agree on that
Next
one as
up.
well.
Big one.
Oh man, so these are our brothers, our sisters,
Our friends, our pals.
siblings, yeah. So we've got the 6th-seeded Cleveland Browns squaring off against the 3rd-seeded Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. These teams just played each other last week, and we talked about this last week on the podcast, how like this might be something that could happen. They could be playing back-to-back games, and here we are. It happened. So who do you have winning this game? I want to hear from you first on this one.
Right. First off, let's give a shout out to Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph. They made up. That's big. After Myles Garrett has had the helmet and has whacked Mason Rudolph on the head, they made up. So, peace over hate. That's number one. I can't get that image out of my mind. He just took off the helmet and just whacked him with it. I'm going to go Pittsburgh here. And here's why. That game was 24-22. Pittsburgh didn't have the best edge rusher in the league in TJ Watt. A quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger who's been through it all. Mason Rudolph had a pretty good game for his first time playing this year. And I think a few other guys were out as well. So I just feel the way they played them, in Cleveland, all those fans there, backups in, and still taking them to the end of the game. I got to go Pittsburgh. I can't go against Mike Tomlin because he knows how to make those adjustments, and he is one of the best coaches in the league. I got Pittsburgh 31-20.
31-20.
Yeah.
I've got this game a little bit more lower scoring, man. I don't think either team hits 30 points.
Really?
I think that this one's going to be, they'll be close to 30. I'm thinking I'm going to go 27. Yeah, it's tough. I'm going to go 27-21 Steelers.
Okay.
I'm going to go 27-21 Steelers. I feel like it'll be a fairly close game. It'll be a one-possession game. But the Browns, they just don't pull it off. They don't pull it off. Both defenses play well or respectably against, very familiar opponents, and they keep it kind of low scoring. But at the end of the day, like you said, Mike Tomlin, he's been there before. He knows how to make those adjustments. They have the better team all around. So I've got the Steelers 27-21.
Real quick, we have 69 people, almost 70 in here. Thank you.
70, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you're here, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and like we said before, share it. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cat, your dog, your fish.
Everybody. All
your
of
snake,
them.
your iguana. Why not?
Ew.
Yeah.
I have a phobia of snakes.
Same. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I'm not a fan of snakes at all.
I'm also not a fan of Derrick Henry running over my favorite team, but that's my other phobia.
Definitely not.
We don't want that. We already talked about the Ravens and Titans. You just want to recap what we said?
Just recapping it real quick. Ravens at Titans. We will both of us have the Ravens. I've got the Ravens 41-23, I believe is what I said. And what did you say, Alex?
35-31.
35-31. Okay, so you have it a lot closer than I have it.
It's playoffs. I'm weird. As I just predicted a bunch of blowouts, but with Ravens Titans, I just feel this the bad blood. I mean, it's not a division game, but it feels like a division game.
This feels like the
Makes
Super Bowl. this
it
this is
does.
like this is like do or die. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if we lose to this team for the third time in a row, and people won't even pay attention to the regular season loss that we had to them this year. They'll just look back at last year's playoff game when they handled us in last year's playoff game, and they'll compare both games, and they'll be like, "Hey, they did it back-to-back years in the playoffs. We know what the Ravens are about. As soon as they get in the playoffs and they play the Titans, they're gonna lose. Boom. This is
Yeah.
do or die. The emotions going into this game, not only for the players, but the coaches and the front office and all the fans, they're gonna be running super high. Listen, bro. I don't know if I can remember a game that was going to be this emotional. That I was
Yeah.
this like, you know what I mean? Like
I
just
haven't. Like, I
my
wanted
heart's
that.
in
That's
it.
This is why I wanted the Titans. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want them. I want to beat them. I just want to shut everybody up.
Yeah, man. Honestly, that's all we want, as Ravens fans right now, man. We want to beat the Titans. We want to beat them convincingly, I'm
Yeah.
sure. And then we want to move on with life,
A
because that's just
business
something
trip.
that's been hanging. It's a business trip. It's been hanging over our heads, though.
It has.
KLA Sports, he says, I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now for the Ravens.
That's
Honestly, yeah, man.
if you could put me in some pads right now, I probably wouldn't do anything, but I'd give it my all. I would
Yeah, man.
leave there on a stretcher.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna drive. I'm gonna pick you up, Alex. We're gonna drive to Tennessee. We're gonna bring some football pads with us just in
Yes.
case. So we need to run out on the field and help,
You know, I'll be the next soldier boy. Say less. Hey, you'll be the quarterback. I'll be the receiver. There we go. Simple as
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We just all of those losses that we had to them, and just the past two, and it feels like we've lost 1,000 times to them just
It
because of
does.
how we lose to them. But we need to beat them. Long story short, we need to beat this team, and I'm sure they know that. The Titans know that as well, which is why this game will be so interesting. Like, how do they react to a team coming in here that they've beaten twice? The team is red hot that they're playing. The Ravens are, and the Titans really aren't so red hot. Like they've won a couple games down the stretch, but for the most part, they've been pretty much struggling.
They lost a big game to the Packers.
Yeah,
Big game. And it wasn't like, oh, to the end. They got blown out. So it's going to
yeah,
be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
yep. So let's see here. It's like the old Ravens, like the old Ravens do. It takes 50 times for us to get it right before we go to the Super Bowl. Am I the only one that feels that way? No.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Like, and we set ourselves up for a much better comeback this season. That's why I'm so optimistic about this season. I feel like
Yeah.
we have such a good opportunity now. Like we hit our stride at the right time. We didn't just start winning in week 5 and just never looked back. And then by the time the playoffs came, we were kind of like desensitized to winning or desensitized to just the game. We were just going out there and playing and beating teams because we had the element of surprise last year, mainly with Lamar Jackson. And I can't give enough credit to our coaching staff and our players more for just going through a season of so much adversity like this.
Yeah.
This was such like an adapting season. Teams adapted to us and we had to adapt back, and we did. And that's what we're doing now. So as long as we can keep this going, forward, this can be one of the best Ravens seasons of all time. If we can go all the way. If we
It's
can.
like a reality show. I said it before. I mean, what we've went through, the whole COVID thing,
COVID.
playing with backups on a Wednesday night, it gets postponed literally 6 days later, and then starting off 2-0, losing to the Chiefs, and then 5-1. Then we lose to I think we're like 5-4, I believe. I think we're 5. We lost 3 straight.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a terrible loss. Man, that loss to the Patriots, I still don't get how we lost that. But every team has that bad loss. I get it.
Yeah.
You're right. This team has faced a lot of adversity. I think that last year team didn't face. We lost Ronnie Stanley, lost Nick Boyle. That's 2 crucial parts to our run game, and we ran for 400 yards yesterday. So it's just hard smash mouth. we're not the big trust, the Lamar MVP we were last year. We're here to prove people wrong because people know
Yeah.
we were last year.
Yeah. And people are sleeping on us, which is a good thing too.
Yeah.
People feel like they already have, the Ravens figured out and everything like that, but I guarantee the vast majority of NFL fans do not know how good the Ravens have been playing, just how good the
You know
Ravens have been
what?
playing.
I'm glad you bring this up because I saw a quote unquote Ravens fan. Um, the Ravens put out a clip of just Brandon Williams being that dude. And a Ravens fan had the audacity to say they cannot wait until Brandon Williams is gone, and they said he isn't dominant. I said most respectfully, you're a dumbass. When Brandon Williams is not in the Ravens defense, we get ran over, and it happens every single time. And I think I've said it before. I think he is the most underrated player on our defense.
Yeah. Yeah. He is, honestly. Like he's definitely up there. Brandon Williams, having him on the field this coming up Sunday at 1:00 in Tennessee is going to just pay dividends for us against Derrick Henry. Like
And
Calais Campbell and Derek Wolfe, the Monstars, and I've been thinking about this nonstop since I found out that we'd be playing the Titans. The Monstars need to have their best game. They need to do their best work,
100%.
against the Tennessee Titans. Like we're relying on them,
Yeah.
more or less. It's coming down to them and Lamar Jackson. Those are the two most like pressured points in this game. We need Lamar to make plays, and we need the Monstars to stop Derrick Henry. Those are the two main keys. So we'll see what they do.
Now, do you watch Marlon Humphrey's his lives after the game when they're on the plane?
I didn't get to see the yesterday's one, but I saw a couple other ones.
So yesterday he went up to Calais Campbell, and Calais Campbell said, "This is what they brought me here for."
Oh,
I love that. I love that.
Yes, sir.
I love that.
Love.
And he pounded his chest. And man, Calais Campbell is one of the few guys who has stripped Derrick Henry. He's forced to fumble, and Henry fumbled yesterday. So maybe a fumble's coming.
And Calais Campbell, we've said it before, he is a big dude, man.
A mammoth of a man.
Exactly. He's not scared of Derrick Henry at all. He is seeking out contact. He will drag him down. Like you said, he will force the football out of his hands because he's done it before. I cannot wait to see what Calais Campbell does on the football field. What our defensive line does. Like, that's going to be the highlight. You should make a whole highlight video of just the defensive line after that. The Monstars.
I'm going to have to. You're going to have to. I mean, it's not even them making plays. It's them just doing the dirty work. Because you never hear Brandon Williams' name, but he will get double teamed every single play, get an arm in there, slow down the runner, and somebody cleans it up. And that's what they do.
It's too easy. And, man, just the secondary as well. Let's talk about the secondary a little bit before we wrap things up here.
Okay.
The secondary, who do you, of course, on A.J. Brown, we're going to have Marlon Humphrey.
Yes.
Corey Davis, Marcus Peters, I'm assuming. Jimmy Smith, if he plays, who would he guard? Who's their third option?
Not too. It's not Isaiah Raymond, I think. I can look it up real quick.
Okay. Yeah, because I honestly think like our secondary, they need to stay disciplined a lot as well. Like you said, Marlon Humphrey, he got burned on that bomb last year against the Titans. We can't have stuff like that. What were you about to say that you found him?
Cameron Bateson. And then they have Khalif Raymond, who was the one who had that long touchdown on us last year.
Yeah.
Long, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Jesus, bringing back memories, bad memories. Okay.
Well, they don't have, what's his name? Camille Correa, who had his career game against us when we drafted him, and he goes to the Titans. So, like, once again, fuck him. Sorry for the language. I can't stand him. So, I'm glad he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And they don't have Dean Pease. Once again, fuck Dean Pease. Hope he's enjoying his retirement. But yeah, so I just genuinely have a hatred for the Titans. I don't think I've ever had from their team before. It's just something about them.
Yeah, I don't like the Titans either, man. I do not like them.
See, I can respect the Steelers. I don't like them, but I respect them. The Titans, nah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, definitely not. Just before we wrap up here, you guys throw any questions you have for us down in the live chat. It can be about football, it can be about Ravens, it could be about music, it could be about food, it could be about how your day was, it could be about anything you want to know about us, it could be
The
about
weather,
anything.
anything.
Exactly. It could be about anything. Just ask us any questions you guys have before we get out of here. We're going to get to all you guys' questions.
71.
Starting out, 71
people
people watching live right now. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram in the top left corner. You see at the Purple Rain Podcast. Here's the first question that we have.
Okay.
Moneyman, he says, prime Ray Lewis and Derrick Henry in the open field. What's happening? Truck or tackle?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking tackle. Because, listen, man, Ray Lewis had that dog. If you talk about the dog mentality, he embodied that. You know, he was not scared of anybody. He would make a hit on anybody. And he's just he wants it more. I know he wants it more than Derrick Henry. I know he would want it more than Derrick Henry would in the open field. Just take a look at Derrick Henry versus Deshaun Elliott. If Deshaun Elliott can do that to Derrick Henry, Ray Lewis would definitely in the open field. If he hits someone up square, you know what I mean? If they're not running parallel side to side, hits him up square, I feel like Ray Lewis could definitely make that tackle in his prime, of course.
Take a look at it. Ray Lewis, Eddie George. I mean, I'm taking Ray Lewis by 1,000. I don't care. I'm taking Ray Lewis. He is tackling him. Not only is he going to tackle him, he's tackling him for a lot, like he did to Darren Sproles. And you know what? He might even strip that damn ball from him, too. Simple as that. Because the NFL is different from how it was when Ray Lewis played. I mean, Ray Lewis was cracking Jerome Bettis. And Jerome Bettis was a lot bigger than Derrick Henry. In size, that is. Not in strength, but in size. So I'm taking Ray Lewis.
Me too, absolutely. Isaac D, he says, did we have Brandon Williams last game? Yes, we did.
Not against the Titans. We were out, him and Calais Campbell.
Oh, I thought he meant against the Bengals. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. I'm putting this against Titans, but...
Yeah. Against the Titans, we did not have Brandon Williams or Calais Campbell, and we still did a pretty decent job at holding down Derrick Henry, at least until the end of the game.
Yeah.
Let's see. Josh Price. Shout out to you, Josh. You've been in here this whole time. He said 2012 team versus the 2019 team. Who's winning?
29. I'm going 2012 because the 2019. Yeah, 2012 offense was very, very good. Oh, yeah. I'm going 2012. Yeah, going 2012.
I don't know if I can go 2012 because I don't know if that defense would have been able to stop Lamar.
Yes. My only thing is the defense had leaders back then compared to the ones last year. That's my only thing. Now, this year, true. If you put who we have this year and mix them together, then yeah, but I think 2012 just kind of it was destined to happen. I really can't go against that. The offense too. The offense was disgustingly good.
Yeah.
I feel if it was Ray Lewis and Ed Reed were they would have gotten those guys' heads you got to step up. So how would that work though? I mean, that'd be Jimmy Smith and Pernell McPhee playing twice and the Wolfpack.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I would probably now that I'm thinking about it. I might give the edge to the 2012 team, but 2019, it would be a very good game. It'll be a very good game.
And Flacco with a chip on his shoulder was a different type of quarterback too.
Definitely. Let's see what else we have. Jonathan Washington Jr. You guys throwing your questions. Jonathan Washington Jr. He says, "Can you see the Ravens routing the Titans?" I do see that. I can see that happening. Am I going to say it is going to happen? No, I mean, because I can't literally predict the future, but I could definitely see that happening if we get the Titans out of their game plan before they get us out of ours. If we can shut down Derrick Henry on first and second down in the first quarter and we can, in response, put up points off of their punting drives, we should be good and, we could start pouring it on them. But what do you think?
I hope so, but I can't see it. It's playoffs. It's the best of the best. That's why you're there.
Yeah.
You don't make it there as an accident.
2020 Ravens or 2012 Ravens?
Ooh. See, we haven't even seen the 2020 Ravens healthy. That's my biggest thing. Because we haven't seen a full offense together and a full defense. We haven't seen both of them together because somebody's always missing. That's a really good question.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a very good question. I would probably have to give the edge to the 2012 Ravens, though, if I'm being honest. Only because, with the 2020 Ravens, we're missing Marshall Yanda. We're missing a couple of other pieces as well, and it's just until I see more, I might change my mind
Hey,
in like
maybe
a
in a
couple
month,
weeks.
maybe in a month or two,
Yeah,
maybe you never know, but we'll see.
yeah, I might change my mind. Flacco is elite. Just want to throw that in there. Was he ever
What?
elite? Was he?
Yes. I'm gonna go get his first fight before the contract. Hell yeah.
He
He
was
was
elite.
yeah.
Or was he just throwing it up to Anquan Bolden and them
He was
boys?
he was
Torrey
doing his
Smith.
thing. He was doing his thing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He was balling a little bit. I don't know about elite now that I'm looking back on it in
Top
hindsight, but
I'm gonna go top 10 quarterback.
oh yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah,
top 10
top 10 for
quarterback.
sure.
Yeah. Let's see.
No, playoff Flacco is elite. That's
Oh
what
yeah,
that's
definitely,
something I would
definitely
yeah,
elite.
playoff Flacco.
Facts. Cones, he says, due to how our offense is mainly based around the run game, do you see J.K. Dobbins becoming one of the top league leaders in rushing yards the next few years? I don't know if I want to say rushing yards because we still have Lamar, and we still have Gus. Lamar just ran for 1,000 yards himself again. Shout out to Lamar
That's
Jackson, by
insane.
the way.
That's insane.
Only quarterback to do it back-to-back seasons, consecutive seasons, 1,000 yards rushing. But
I thought he was figured out though.
yeah, same here. But J.K. Dobbins, like I said, for that very reason, I don't see him being the league leader or in the top 3 for rushing yards. Now, he may be up there in touchdowns, but I don't know about rushing yards. What do you think about that, though?
Yeah, I'm gonna go average. I think he'll be up there. It's just there's too many hands to feed and not enough snaps to go around. But if he was by himself, I think you could definitely make a case for it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I can't do top yet.
right. Yeah, same. Let's see. Who else do we have in here? Oh, Jonathan Washington Jr., he says, if the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl, which road to the championship was harder, this one or the one back in 2012, 2013 when we played Indy, then went to play Denver and Mile High and capped it off in New England? So it's looking like in this year, we're going to have to start in Tennessee, of course, and then we'll play the Chiefs in Arrowhead, and then we'll play the Bills or the Steelers, more than likely.
We're not trying to get ahead. This is just
We're not trying to get ahead.
Yeah,
Hypothetically, based off of the question.
for people coming in now, we're not saying the Ravens are gonna make it, but just comparing.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2012 we played one of the up and coming young quarterbacks in Andrew Luck, then Peyton Manning, like with a monster of a team around him, and then the GOAT Tom Brady, and then you play Kaepernick, who was a whole different quarterback that the league at the time, wasn't seeing a lot of running quarterbacks, and he was doing his thing with Greg Roman, offensive coordinator. That's. I think you have to compare this more to the 2000s, to be honest. Whole different scenario.
Yeah.
We're going to Tennessee like we did in 2000.
That's true. That's true. So, I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest with you, I would have to say that this year will be harder, only because of what our offense takes in order for us to be good. You know what I mean? Like, our offense takes literally flawless execution. You know what I mean? We don't have necessarily big play. We don't have a I don't know if we have a Jacoby Jones-ish type of I don't want to say player because we have players better than Jacoby Jones. I don't know if this is the same magic as there. Anquan Bolden, just that big guy, big catch radius. You know what I mean?
Torrey Smith drawing PIs for fun.
Exactly. We don't have
Dennis
that same
Pitta
sort
with the most clutch catches in the world. Flacco on his back foot, he's going up there and getting it.
Us nowadays, we rely more on the running game, of course, more than ever, and then just passing with Lamar. Of course, he's not as great of a passer as Joe Flacco was in that 2012, 2013 season. So I just feel like it's a lot more difficult for us now, especially because teams are singling us out for one, game planning for us as opposed to everybody else, apart from everyone else. Teams are literally sitting down and say, okay, how do we beat the Baltimore Ravens? How do we stop Lamar Jackson? So that's why I think probably the This year would be harder. It'll be more difficult.
Speaking of 2000, it ended in what is it? Raymond James, Tampa Bay. That's where it's played.
Yeah.
It's more compared to 2000, I think, than 2012. Whole different situations.
Yeah.
But let's just hope this happens, man. Please.
I feel that.
One game at a time.
Let's see. NFL Productions. He says draft pick prediction. Draft pick prediction for me, at least first pick in the draft, probably. Ooh, see, it's kind of the waters are kind of muddy now. You don't really know for sure because like we may need to go ahead and get another cornerback. We may need to bolster up the offensive line a little bit more, even though, guys like Ben Powers, Bozeman, those guys have been playing better or a lot, pretty well for us in lieu of our absence of Ronnie Stanley. I'm not sure, but I would have to say either O-line or defensive back. But what do you think, bro?
I'm not against somebody in the trenches either. Wolf and Campbell or Brandon Williams aren't the youngest guys. So I think it wouldn't hurt getting somebody in there and kind of coaching them up to have him and Matabike, be the future.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
But I trust our guys in the front office. 100%.
Oh, EDC we trust all day. R says, would you guys rather face the Chiefs or the Bills in the second round? Of course, our obvious answer is we'd rather face anybody. It doesn't matter who you put in front of us. But there. In terms of who we would rather face, of course, I think we would rather face the Bills just because they have less firepower.
I want the Chiefs. I want the Chiefs. I'm a firm believer. We gotta to be the best. You gotta beat the best. That's how I am.
I feel that. I guess I'm looking at the question as like, who do I think we have a better chance to beat? And I think we have a better chance to beat the Bills as opposed to the Chiefs, just because of all the things the Chiefs can throw at you. So
I'm not really, man. I'll be honest. It's just like we be playing them with people, coming off of their 2 week, 3 week, I guess, because they have this week off, next week, and they'll become back. So it'll be 3 weeks since they really play like a meaningful game. That's why I want the Chiefs.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know, bro.
Either way, if we get to the second round, my goal this year was to get in the playoffs and win a game. That's what I wanted out of this season. So if we can get that, I'll be happy.
Yeah, honestly. I think a lot of Ravens fans are saying that too. Like, hey, man, just win one. You know what I mean? We win the playoff game. It doesn't matter if we lose after that. That was what we needed. We need to get over that hump, Maybe it's baby steps.
We are 10 likes away from 100 thumbs up. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, feel free to hit that. Thank you.
Give us a like. Yeah.
Join the Rain Gang.
Join the Rain Gang. We're going to get a couple more here before we go ahead and get out of you guys' hair for the night.
Also, I want to talk college football real quick. The two bowl games. Well, not the bigger bowl games that were won this past weekend. I want to talk about them real quick as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw our guy Phineas had just brought up in the chat Alabama versus Ohio State in the national championship game. So, let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
What did you think about those games?
Did you watch Clemson Ohio State?
Yes, I did.
Justin Fields was on a mission. That man had his ribs hurting, and he was doing his thing.
Yeah.
I still think Trevor Lawrence is number one pick. I still think it's hard to knock him out.
Yeah.
But Fields made a case.
He made a very strong case, man. And like the thing about Justin Fields, he kind of reminds me of like Deshaun Watson almost. Mm-hmm. Like
that's a really good comparison.
He's just a baller. He's durable. You know what I mean? He gets hurt. He comes back into the game, still makes plays. You know what I mean? Same thing that Deshaun Watson would do in Clemson. So I would definitely probably have to. I don't know if I would take him before Trevor Lawrence, and I don't think the Jags will. I think they'll probably stick with Trevor Lawrence. But man, shout out to Justin Fields because he really did his thing in that bowl game. Just coming off of that rib injury where he literally got cracked. You saw the play where he got hit?
Yep.
Yeah. He literally got destroyed, like hammered, like right in the back. And he came back into that game, literally threw a touchdown 2 plays later.
I'll tell you what, those bowl games, they're fun to watch. I don't watch college football usually, but like the bowl games you gotta watch. And it's fun to watch. And those deep balls, he was just slinging those things. Like Deshaun Watson, how he would just throw up to Cooks or Fuller. He was slinging them.
Those were some very pretty thrown balls. Like
Yeah,
very pretty. Like he was just lobbing them over the top of guys, threading the needle into the end zone on certain plays. Like he had as many touchdowns as he did incompletions.
that's
Like
crazy.
he
That
played
is,
lights out.
he
He
did.
played lights out, man. So he definitely made a case for being that number one pick. I don't think that will happen, but he'll probably land to the Jets, right? The
Yeah,
Jets.
yeah, probably.
Or do you think the Jets trade that second pick?
I think they should. I think I'd roll with Darnold. Because you can get another first round pick. I think trading is probably the best decision. From a building your future standpoint.
Okay.
Because it's not like they have a terrible. It's not like they're in the Jaguar situation where we don't have a guy who can win games. Because Darnold, he hasn't looked bad, but he hasn't looked good. So I mean,
Right.
they know more about it than us. But I think I'll trade it.
Yeah. 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 Let's see. Did you guys see the fight? Jonathan Washington Jr. says, "Did you guys see the fight in the bowl game between Tulsa and Mississippi State?" I didn't catch that.
Yes. Upload a video on it. Yeah, the one dude was just. He was reckless. He kicked somebody, then he went Instagram live afterwards, kind of bragging about it. So he is not going to get drafted ever, probably.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's no good. Um, Jay, he says, "What do you believe our chances are getting Julio Jones this offseason?" Nah.
It's more like a thing you do in Madden franchise. I
Yeah.
can't see it happening.
Yeah. Definitely not. Let's see. Before we get out of here, let's just bring up. I'm gonna get one more question. 2 more likes till 100.
We hit it. 100
We
likes.
hit it.
Thank you.
Let's go.
See, we
Thank
wouldn't
you
have 100 viewers,
guys.
but I think 100 likes. I would 100
Yeah.
likes is the moves. So you
We'll
know what? Maybe
definitely
100
take
likes
that.
means a Ravens win on Sunday.
Yeah, and I know we brought up like we still have things coming for you guys, little
Oh.
surprises, announcements, and things like that.
I mean, do we
So,
want to give a teaser? Or do you want to just wait?
should
You
we
want to
give a
wait?
teaser?
Or do you want to
Oh
wait?
man, don't put me on the spot like this because I will say yes. Oh man, let's wait. Let's wait.
Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll wait. Okay,
Let's wait. We won't give anybody any teasers or anything
But
like
just know,
that.
it's something where you don't want to miss it, and it'll be
Yeah.
literally pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool. You do not want to miss our upcoming episodes. They're gonna be awesome. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the night. This has been the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 14. Again, we just made an Instagram account, so go follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. It's located right above my head here. IG at the Purple Rain Podcast. Join the Rain Gang. The Rain Gang is our family, man.
Yes.
Everybody who's in here right now, everybody who subscribed, everybody who left a like, you're now a part of the Rain Gang, and we appreciate you. We really, really do.
Fun times. Thank you. Can't say thank you enough. New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How was your guys, before we go, how was everybody's New Year? I want to ask
Yeah,
that.
man.
Hope everybody's staying safe, staying healthy. But how did I forget that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2021, man.
2021, man. We're finally done with 2020. Just hope you can expect to see a lot from us, from Simply AS10, from Sutton Def, from the Purple Rain Podcast in 2021. We have a lot of things planned for you guys. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout.
And hey, hopefully when things go down, we can do a Purple Rain podcast live together. No virtual together. Why not?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I would love to do that. We're definitely gonna have to do that in the
Yes.
future. I think the Rain Gang would appreciate that too. That'd be pretty dope. Let's see. KLA Sports, he says, "Happy New Year, guys. Wish nothing but the best for you guys. Amazing podcast."
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Bro.
102 likes. That's right. NFL Productions 102. We made it. We made it. Go Raven says Sutton's voice is satisfying. LMAO. Thank you.
That radio voice.
Yeah, like I said, man, we're gonna catch you guys in the next one. I'm gonna let my guy Simply AS10 end it off here with his final remark.
Yes. So, you can find us on our next episode 15, on Thursday. 15, Marquise Brown wears 15, Hollywood Brown. Maybe he'll have a few touchdowns on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I'm
Get
pretty sure
another
it'll be all things Titans Ravens. We'll go over our score predictions once again.
Mhm.
But I think
Right.
what else can we talk about? What do you guys want to see from us? maybe more
Yeah.
in depth of the other playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll see. We'll be checking the comments. But
Yeah.
as always, I have been simply AF10. And you can find me on Twitter at AlexSilberman_ or on Instagram, simply as10.prod. That is my guy right there, Sutton Def. Tell him where you can find you.
Yes, sir. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def, and you can find us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast.
Yes.
And like always, Alex,
Stay positive, test negative. Simple as that.
and we are out.